One of the feistiest players in the league, and as recent as last night, scored another 2 big goals for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He seems to do it at both ends of the rink. He kills penalties. He's terrific on faceoffs. As a matter of fact, he holds the league record for the 2 quickest shorthanded goals in only 4 seconds. So we're looking at a very special player, perhaps the leading candidate for the Hart Trophy this year.
He's putting up enormous numbers. Many have said he has done more for a team with less surrounding players to help out than anyone in the league. You look at those numbers, and maybe he is going to get those votes.
Well, right now they have in Toronto what is known as the Gilmour Sittler Watch. Daryl Sittler, Hall of Famer, former Maple Leaf, scored 117 points with 72 assists, and they're counting down Gilmour to see when and if he can break Daryl's record.
And both these teams have an interesting situation in net. We'll let the guys back in the studio tell you about that. Tom, back to you.
All right, Gary and Jim, thanks a lot as we get set to take you to one of the original 6 sites in the NHL, Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, for a battle of original 6 teams, the Boston Bruins, Toronto Maple Leafs. Tom Mees on National Hockey Night, joined as always by Bill Clement and by Al Morganti. And let's get right to the goaltending situation in Toronto, Bill. A situation that was made very interesting by Cliff Fletcher a couple of weeks ago.
Boy, wasn't it? I think Cliff either made the gutsiest move of the season when he traded Grant Fuhr or took the greatest calculated risk. Mind you, he needed offense, but remember how much he gave to Edmonton to get Grant Fuhr? And he had a sure thing in Grant Fuhr. So he sends Grant Fuhr to Buffalo. That means he thinks he's got a sure thing in Felix Potvin. This is who's starting tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So Cliff Fletcher is going to try and get his team into the playoffs riding a 21-year-old goaltender named Felix Potvin. Potvin is a very quick guy, but how about experience? Doesn't that a little bit? Yes. Coming into this season, he'd only played 4 games. Right now, he's played 29 games. He's got the best save percentage. He also has the best goals against average. And when you can stop Brett Hall and then on a follow-up shot by Craig Janney, you know you've got something. I think what Cliff Fletcher was probably betting on is that Pat Burns' defensive style would really help Felix Potvin. And Cliff Fletcher knows one thing. His team is not an expansion team, even though they've played like it for the last 10 years. He wants to get them into the playoffs right now.
Wants to do well right away, that's for sure. Well, Al, on the other end of the ice for Boston, John Blue, when I heard that name, I thought back to his college days as a Golden Gopher at Minnesota. He's the goalie right now. Is he the goalie for the playoffs of the Bruins?
I don't believe so. Unlike the Leafs, who have their goalie for the future, the Bruins don't. And what the Bruins goaltenders means keeping up with the Veziners. This is a team that has to keep up in the playoffs with Fuhr and Hextall, Vezina Trophy winners, and Patrick Waugh. Now, is this guy going to do it, John Blue? He's played 15 games. He's played all right, but he's certainly not the future of the Bruins. It still appears that, at least for these playoffs, it's in the hands of Andy Moog, who's out another 5 to 10 days with a hamstring pull. I don't know if either one of these guys are in the long-term future for the Bruins. They may make some maneuvers. Harry Sinden makes some big moves off-season, and I think they're going to be looking at a new goaltender after this season.
All right, but for this season, though, it still appears as the playoffs come upon us that Andy Moog, when he's healthy, will be back in the lineup full-time for the Boston Bruins. Well, 4 games took place in the NHL this afternoon. Those highlights still to come. Among them, the raising to the rafters of battling Billy Smith's number 31. The Islander goaltender, part of 4 Stanley Cup winners. We'll have that in a moment. Welcome back to our National Hockey Night studios. I'm Tom Mees. We'll be going to Toronto for the Boston Bruins and the Maple Leafs in a moment. 4 games this afternoon around the NHL, one of them on Long Island. A sellout crowd to see Billy Smith's number raised to the rafters, and why not? He was the goalie for the Islanders' 4 Stanley Cup winners. Now to action against Pittsburgh. Vladimir Malakov takes it end-to-end and drops it just in time for Pierre Turgeon, who recorded his 3rd hat trick of the season today. Islanders beat the Pens 4-2. Pittsburgh's lost 3 in a row. Trent Platt beating Mark Tenorti. High in the slot. Tenorti scores. Minnesota trailing Philly 2-1. Second period, Gaetan Duchesne feeds Neil Broughton for the shorthanded goal. Minnesota goes on to win at home 5-2. L.A. Kings in Washington. First period, Rob Blake of the Kings drives the puck from the point. Beaufray snares Wayne Gretzky's attempt at a rebound. Caps led it 2-0 after 1. Second period, the Caps explode. 4 goals in the last 3 minutes of the period, including this great individual effort by Peter Bondra. Caps win 7-3. The Kings are on the slide again. Edmonton and Hartford. Pat Verbeek and Andrew Castles give and go. Got to cover Castles if you're the goalie. Verbeek is wide open. Made it 4-1. Third period, Verbeek coming in alone. Pat Verbeek, the natural hat trick. The Whalers, a rare happy day on a Saturday afternoon, beating the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 7-3. A game in progress in the 3rd period. Quebec leading Tampa Bay 2-0. The big story in this game, Ron Hextall in goal for Quebec, injured. A right muscle injury. That's all we know now. He's out at least 2 weeks. The rest of the schedule tonight in the National Hockey League. Ottawa at Montreal. Winnipeg will be at Vancouver. And the New York Rangers, who if the playoffs started at this moment would not make them, take on the San Jose Sharks at the Shark Tank, 10:40 Eastern Time. Toronto and Boston coming up next on ESPN's National Hockey Night from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
National Hockey Night is brought to you by Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be. By the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. And by Gillette Sensor and the new Gillette Series. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Nighttime shot of Nathan Phillips Square in Toronto, where Bill Clement learned how to play hockey on that very rink we saw there, right, Bill?
Something like that.
Something like that. You know, in Boston for many years, when people have been thinking hockey, they've been thinking of Ray Bourque. But a guy that a lot of people around the country had better take notice of if they haven't already, Adam Oates.
They will. I think Adam Oates is still the most underrated player in the National Hockey League. He's added something to his game this year. We've always known that Adam Oates is one of the top passers. I think he's in a category with only Mario Lemieux, the two top passers in the game. He's added something to his game, and that is shooting the puck. He's always had the finesse, which we know about, and that really combines hand-eye coordination. On this play we're going to show you, there he is in front, waiting for Ray Bourque to shoot the puck. Watch this. It gets deflected here, so Adam Oates, who's standing in front, has to deal with this change of direction. No sweat. He's able to get his stick on it here, and on this play, deflects it between the legs of Patrick Waugh, and you can see it just entering the net here and behind. So that's typical Adam Oates, not afraid of the trenches, great hand-eye, but watch this play. Another power play. Look at Adam Oates. He's winding up to shoot. That's what he has added, and the interesting thing is there's nobody in front. That means no screen. Still, Adam Oates is shooting. Watch this play. Jeff Hackett helps him by kicking this in. But Adam Oates is shooting more to the tune of 1.5 shots per game. You add that up over a game schedule, 80-game schedule, that's 120 more shots per season. Sure, he's going to score more.
Well, you know, his former teammate in St. Louis, Brett Hull, said Wayne Gretzky's the best player in the NHL. Adam Oates, in Hull's opinion, was the second best player. Adam Oates will be on display tonight along with the rest of his Boston Bruin teammates as they take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So without any further ado, let's go live to Maple Leaf Gardens. Men will call the action, Gary Thorne and Jim Schoenfeld. Gentlemen.
Tom, thank you very much. And there it is. That's the Garden. We're inside tonight. Frosty night, live shot. Maple Leaf Gardens, 1931 when it opened. John Cullen on the face-off, and for the second time this season, the Bruins and the Maple Leafs are at it. Boston lost at home 4-1. The only other game these two teams played. Ray Bourque, of course, working on defense. We'll see lots of him out there tonight. Anderson going by the puck. Tries to dump it in. Went off John Cullen's back. Played by Todd Gill, working on defense. The Toronto Maple Leafs looking to extend a win streak as they come into this game having won their last 5. They haven't won 6 in a row since 1983. The Boston Bruins on the road. They are 3-2-1 on a 7-game road trip that will be wrapped up here tonight. They'll head on home. Both teams get their first line changes underway. On the near side, Juneau. Juneau, outstanding season. Tried to get the tip in the middle to Wesley, who was cutting in. Leach trying to hold it in. This line has been changed a bit for tonight's game. Dmitri Mironov has gone back home, has got a twisted knee, suffered a game ago on this road trip for Boston, so he's not in there. Steve Leach will move up on this line to play with Juneau and Oates. Joey Juneau ahead. Oates has it. Oates drops it off. The 100-point man Oates going to the middle. Leach spinning along the boards. Leach couldn't go back to the point. Dumped it in behind the net. Oates in front of it. Looking for the centering pass. Bounced off the back of the net by Juneau. Felix Potvin, the goaltender, never saw that. Went right up the back of the net. Juneau moved in. Lefebvre swept it away. Held in by Leach. Leach drops it in the corner. They've got Juneau in front. Leach the shot. Potvin the save. No rebound.
The Bruins moving the puck around very well. You'll notice the Leaf forwards coming back very deep when Adam Oates' line is on the ice, because the Bruin line worked the puck so well from the lower part of the boards and the corners and also from behind the net. So they want to take away space from the Bruins, get as many players back there as possible.
There is Felix Potvin. You see the numbers. His goals against and save percentage are both number 1 in the National Hockey League. And as the guys were talking about, he's so good that this organization was willing to let go of Grant Fuhr.
Well, Fuhr in the mid-'80s, many people considered, most hockey people considered, the best goaltender in the world, and he still has a lot of good hockey left in him. So this guy has some big skates to fill. In Toronto, they feel he can do it very well.
Toronto Maple Leafs clearing it around the boards. Borchevsky, good pressure put on by that last line of Boston, though. Centering pass, Borchevsky could not handle it. Comes back on his stick, and he will send it in. Nikolai Borchevsky. Blue held it up behind the net. John Blue has got the starting role right now. Mike Bales is the backup goaltender for tonight's game. Bob Rouse taking it, and that will be an icing call as you take a look at the veteran Bob Rouse.
Gary, there's a stat we should get out of the way in a hurry because it could change very quickly, because Doug Gilmour is on fire. but he has been involved in a higher percentage of his team's goals for than any other player in the league. 93 of 199 Leaf goals for 47%. And you compare that with the next three: Lemieux from Pittsburgh, 42.4%, Adam Oates from the Bruins, 42.2%, and Pat LaFontaine, the Buffalo Sabre, 41.4%. So Gilmour doing yeoman duty for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
He's on a scoring streak of 7 games right now, 5 goals, 14 assists. He's leader in the National Hockey League in the assists department and tied for 4th overall in scoring. Off the face-off, McLlwain won it. Roused the shot, deflected out deep. McLlwain trying to center. Dave McLlwain on this line. McLlwain, Krushelnyski knocked away by Heinze, picked up by Bourque. Bourque just dumps it in the middle. Poulin sends it ahead, and what a boost he's given Boston this season. The veteran Dave Poulin having an outstanding year. Wrapped around the boards. Blue got hit after he got rid of that as Rob Pearson gave him a little chop on the goaltender. No call made on it. Bill McCreary, a referee tonight. Ray Scapanello, Mark Vines working with him. Pass goes all the way back to Poulin at center as the Bruins tried to break it out. Ray Bourque coming back to help out, and that's going to be flipped along the boards, and the sticks get up on the far side. C.J. Young, just recently acquired from Calgary, another one of the players played his college hockey in Boston out there on the ice, got the sticks up on the far side.
We can expect a lot of the scrums, I think, tonight. Both teams are coming into this game playing pretty well, and both teams are trying to improve their playoff positioning. The Leafs have played extremely well lately. They're making a move in their division, and of course the Bruins, they want to get as high as they can. Home ice advantage is so important in the playoffs, especially take a team like Boston, who is 4th at home in the power play, but way down to about 16th on the road. So it's important for teams to get that home ice advantage, to get the odd game at home if they want to advance during the playoffs.
Gilmour back out on the ice, and Wendel Clark, we should mention, is back in the lineup for the first time in some 34 games. Clark getting back out after the injury. This is his first game back. The captain brought in by Donato. Ted Donato down the middle, backhand. Save made. Potvin, another save. Potvin, rebound, score! The Bruins, Darin Kimble.
The Leafs back in. They give up the blue line. The Bruins keep coming, and then it's shot after shot after shot, and the Leafs cannot catch up to the puck. You had a 2-on-2 situation. The Leaf defenders give up the blue line, and the Bruins in hot pursuit just keep peppering Felix Potvin. And finally, up top left shoulder, Darin Kimble roosts it to give the Bruins a 1-goal lead.
That's just his 4th goal of the season, playing it only his 31st game of the year. And Darin Kimble, at 2:56 of this first period, puts the Boston Bruins on top. And when you're playing on the road, boy, getting that first goal and being able to play ahead instead of behind makes all the difference in the world. John Cullen won the faceoff, sends it in. Wendel Clark is out there on the ice. He's been out since January 17. Clark will work on this line with Cullen. Cleared across ice. Rouse over to get it. Jamie Macoun working with him. Good hit put on by Kimble on the far side. That goal set him flying out there. Ray Bourque knocked it away from Clark. Set in behind the net to Felix Potvin. Potvin won that game in Boston against the Bruins in this first meeting against them. All around this season for Potvin, it's the first meeting. 21-year-old played in only 4 games last year. Ended up going 0-2-1. Clark again putting the hit on behind the net. He is world famous for that. Got a piece of Don Sweeney. Bourque sends it in far side. Juneau circling with it. Joey Juneau sent it in, intended for Leach. Potvin tips it away to the near side corner. Worked out of the zone. Macoun ahead, intended for Clark. Blue goes back to get it. The Maple Leafs changing it up on the fly. Cleared up ice by Sweeney in the middle. Oates is up in front. Wendel Clark again moving in. He hit Leach and freed the puck up. Juneau sends it across ice. Adam Oates over to get it. Zezel was on him. Mironov will chase it down in the corner. Arm is up for icing. And from Toronto, the Bruins on top 1-0. Wendel Clark missed 34 games last season, 13 this season. First-round pick in '85, and what he's noted for is a bruising style of play. For a couple of seasons, when he first came into this league, he also scored. But those kind of hits are not uncommon for the captain of the Leafs. Even if his production's down, he adds an element to the game that not many players can. He's a great skater, has super leverage when he hits, and he punishes people when he runs into them. Featherstone's pass partially blocked on the good forechecking by Nikolai Borchevsky, who had it for a moment. Cleared up, Dave Ellett back to get it. Ellett circling. Ellett gets tied up in the corner, held in by Reid. Bruins, Dave Reid behind the net, pinned up. Lost it near side. Borchevsky goes to the middle. Here comes Gilmour. Gilmour crisscrossing with Andreychuk. Andreychuk wide on blue. He had the screen set up, turned around by Dave Ellett, and it was the puck. Came outside the zone, though, while he was spinning. They got to take it back outside. So the captain's back for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they're not real happy with some of the things that happened during the All-Star break. He took off for a little vacation in the sunny south instead of staying to work out and get treatment.
Well, of course, the trade rumors start then, and he's going here, he's going there. The one thing about moving a guy like Clark, I don't think you would get back what you're giving up. Something that's worth noting, Dave Andreychuk, as a Buffalo Sabre, was a killer of the Boston Bruins. He scored goal after goal against the Bruins. I was talking to some of their players today, some of their management, and they mentioned Dave Andreychuk, each one of them, and they're worried about him tonight. He gets in front of the net, extremely hard to move, has terrific hands, very quick, an excellent goal scorer.
He's got 7 goals and 5 assists in the first 7 games he's played for Toronto. Cleared around by Potvin. Glenn Anderson knocked it away. Mironov couldn't get it out of the zone. Potvin makes the save. The Bruins getting some cough-up chances. Steve Heinze rifled it in on Potvin. Back the other way, Pearson. Pearson gets turned in the corner. Good play by David Shaw, the defenseman. Centering pass taken away by Heinze. Stevie Heinze, one of the rookies. Ted Donato, C.J. Young, Joey Juneau, all rookies playing a lot this season for the Boston Bruins. Wrapped around the boards, held in. Cullen, score! The captain, Wendel Clark, set it up with a check and got it back for the goal.
It all starts with a good body check. Clark coming in on Shaw. Shaw moves the puck a little quicker than he'd like to. And there's a Maple Leaf. Cullen right there to stop it. Clark gets body position, beats Shaw to the front of the net, and the goaltender Blue has no chance in that one. That is the 3rd big hit by Wendel Clark. With only 6 minutes gone in this period, he has really come out to play tonight, and he's going to give his team a big lift, Gary.
There you go, Wendel Clark. Welcome back. 10 goals on the season, and he ties the game up at 1-1 and a great setup and a great play to see. That's what checking can do for you. That's what it's all about, to set up scoring opportunities, and he did just that by putting that hit on behind the net. It's just rarely do you see the guy who made the check benefit with a goal like that. Cleared in by Zezel. Far side kick deeper in by Mark Osborne, who could not control. Boston's goal at 2:56. Kimble from Roberts and Donato. Wendel Clark answering at 5:25. John Cullen the assist. Clark has 10. Adam Oates. Oates save. Rebound. Loose. Side of the net covered up by Potvin. Adam Oates went in all alone on the 3rd turnover in the first 6 minutes of this game by Toronto.
Well, a bad giveaway by the Leafs. Zezel, he's trying to go cross ice, and Oates reads it. He's coming right in, fake. Oates just fakes all the time. He catches Potvin going down a little early. Watch, Potvin's down in this first fake, but he can't hit the long side. Potvin just gets a skate on it. Adam Oates is dangerous without the puck. He's such an intelligent player. He knows where to go to get it, and once it's on its stick, good things happen for the Boston Bruins.
One of the 3 100-point men in the National Hockey League coming into today's play. Adam Oates, 3rd in scoring, tied for 14th in goals, and tied for 4th in assists. And again, Toronto Maple Leafs have trouble getting it out of the zone. Bill Berg finally able to clear it out. Ray Bourque, Zezel moving up on him, got it away to Oates at center. Oates and Leach and Juneau. Juneau over on the near side to Leach. Stevie Leach moving in. Leach has had a chance to move up on this line a couple of times this year. That's going to give you heartbeat a little extra race, because you know you're going to get some scoring opportunities and some chances at some assists when you're working with the other 2 guys on the ice. Around the net, Sylvain Lefebvre. Lefebvre did not get it out of the zone. It kicked a little deeper. Finally, Jamie Macoun just picks it up and dumps it out of the zone. Trying to hit Zezel on the break. Zezel dropped it in front. Knocked away by Blue. Had Blue not gotten that mark, Osborne was waiting. A slow rolling puck that's turned into a scoring opportunity. Joey Juneau, second among the rookie scorers, brings it in. Juneau turning, leaves it for Oates. Oates making the spin move off the boards. They all do it. In the middle of a line change, Roberts sends it back into the corner. Juneau looking. Juneau tied up by Ellett from behind and cleared out of the zone. Krushelnyski kicked it away. Glen Featherstone sends it back into the end. 12:42 left to go. First period here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Game tied at 1-1. Featherstone this time. Featherstone to Kimble. Cleared out of the zone again as Mike Krushelnyski for the second time intercepted. Krushelnyski gets it back at center. Tried to feed it in, couldn't. Featherstone was there to take it away. Two hard checking teams who like to play hard defense. Look at the bounce right out in front. Not out of the zone. Save a McLlwain shot. Rebound deflected right in front of the net. Fanned on. Great chances for Rob Pearson, but he couldn't get the stick on the puck, and a penalty coming up on the Bruins.
When you're set up in your defensive zone and you assume the play is going to happen, a hard around like that's going to end up in the corner boards, and it doesn't. It hits something in the boards. Panic sets in, and that's what happened to the Bruins. They all panicked, went to the front of the net. No one really took a man. And here is Blue making an alert play on Osborne, a 2-on-1. And that play started. This is the last save. You got three Bruins in front of the net. A great, great save, kicking that puck out after the Bruins panicked. That bad bounce off the boards, and good offensive zone pressure by the Leafs.
Glen Featherstone, high sticking, will draw the penalty as Blue's been diving around in net in this game for Boston, as both teams have been able to work the puck down low. There is Glen Featherstone. He's out for high sticking at 7:53. That'll be the first penalty of the game. And we will get to see the Toronto power play, which is ranked 14th overall in the National Hockey League this season, 15th at home. Boston's penalty killers, they are ranked 10th in the league and 16th on the road. There's the power play for Toronto.
And the Bruins, of course, lead the league in shorthanded goals for with 16, so that's certainly a concern for the Maple Leaf power play.
Don't want to let them start flying. Dave Reid has got 5 shorthanded goals this season, and Dave Poulin's picked up 3. Adam Oates has 1. For the power play unit, they will be led in power play goals this season. Andreychuk coming in with 21, picking, of course, all but one of those up with the Buffalo Sabres. Power play underway. Gill goes back. Gill and Ellett will be working the power play point. They'll have Gilmour in middle. John Cullen's cutting in front of the net. Cullen working up front on this unit. There's Gill. Gill wide side for Cullen. Cullen turned, got knocked to the boards by Sweeney, and cleared out of the zone by the Bruins' Dave Poulin. One of the best penalty killers in the National Hockey League is Dave Poulin. Todd Gill going back behind his own net. First power play we've had, game tied at 1-1, a minute 20 left on this power play chance. Donato knocked it away momentarily. Gill got it back, sent it in. Blue a little shaky as he's worried about how the puck's going to come off those boards in light of the one that came right out in front of the net.
In rinks where you're unsure of the bounce you're going to get, I think it's good advice for the goaltender to stay right in the net. Let the players coming back play that puck. Good bounce or bad bounce, your best spot is to be between the pipes.
Gilmour dug it out of the corner. Cullen moving through center, drops it off to Gilmour. Gilmour, Andreychuk in the middle. There's Dave Andreychuk to the point. Mironov tried to push it deep, couldn't do it. Cleared out of the zone nicely. Steve Heinze.
The Bruins, I'm sorry, Gary, the Bruins very aggressive, attacking in the neutral zone, not allowing this Leaf power play to get it in and get set up in the Boston end of the rink.
Second power play unit out there now. Borchevsky's got it. Nikolai Borchevsky to Jamie Macoun. Macoun coming with Andreychuk in front. Sends it into the corner. Blue, as you said, Jimmy, just let that one go. Stayed away from it. Shaw had it for Boston, was able to kick it up along the boards. And it'll be brought out by Dave Poulin. Still short-handed. Poulin some room. Poulin in. Poulin shot. Score! Short-handed goal. Dave Poulin.
Well, Gary, you mentioned what a terrific penalty killer he is. He, along with Dave Reid, possibly the best combination, or one of the best combinations in the National Hockey League. And we talked about the shorthanded goals the Bruins like to score. Mironov gets caught in the wrong skate. Poulin just keeps driving to the net. Potvin goes down too soon right here. Maybe should have come out and poke checked. And he just whacks it in on the backhand of his blade. But a tremendous effort by Dave Poulin. One thing worth noting, Potvin, an exceptional goaltender, but he stays well back in his net for a lot of shots and relies solely on his quickness. Case like that, had he come out to challenge, he may have had a better chance of stopping that puck. But we don't want to straighten him out. He's doing pretty well on his own.
34-year-old Dave Poulin, I'll tell you, can still skate. And short-handed, he now has 4 short-handed goals on the season. 13 overall, and the Bruins have taken a 2-1 lead, and only 4 seconds remain on the Bruins penalty. And they continue to lead the National Hockey League in shorthanded goals, up against 17. Potvin knocked it away, didn't get it out of the zone. Bruins putting pressure on Dave Reid, had it behind the net, lost it. Right in front of the crease, Gilmour tended for Borchevsky. He got cut off at center ice. Ray Bourque goes back to get it. A 2-1 lead for the Boston Bruins. Second time they've had the lead in the game now. Dave Andreychuk turns around, wheels it in. Ray Bourque going back to get it. Bourque behind his own goaltender. Got away with one coming through center ice. Bruins on the near side. Panteleev. Panteleev looking to the net. Tipped wide and off the back of the net by Ruzicka. Ruzicka, Panteleev out with C.J. Young on this line for Boston. C.J. Young getting the opportunity, acquired from Calgary on February 1st and played for Boston a day later and got a couple of goals. Featherstone drops it off, and that's going to be an offside call. From Toronto, the Boston Bruins leading the Leafs 2-1. Off a win at Montreal 5-2 on Wednesday. The Bruins looking to add to their road trip record, have the 2-1 lead here. Lots of other games in the National Hockey League as the race is away in earnest for teams battling for the playoff spots. We'll keep you posted on the other games as we roll along here tonight. It'll be cleared in, played by Rob Rouse. Rouse behind the net, trying to tip it up out of the zone. Bruins great forechecking. Young was down there again. Clark clears it out of the zone. Anderson's got it. Anderson. Glenn Anderson, the veteran from the Edmonton Oilers, deflected into the corner. And Wendel Clark picks it up. Clark turned by Featherstone, picked up by Dave Reid. And Reid gets it up, intended for Young. Ellett back at his own blue line, drops it over to Rouse, the defensive pairing. Sent in. Blue goes back this time in a hurry to cut this one down. Roberts over to get it. Ruzicka in the middle, couldn't get it out. Rouse held it in. Rolls around the dasher, near side to Wendel Clark. Clark sent it wide. Clark has got the goal here for the Leafs in this game. Trying to break Young, broke it up at center. Good play by Clark. He's playing a strong game here in his return. Cullen making the move. Cullen drops it in front. Shot, save, Blue. And a penalty coming up on the Bruins again. And again, the opportunity went to the captain, Wendel Clark.
Well, you can see the Bruin defenders, when that puck's dumped in, they're heads up and looking for Wendel Clark coming. It's almost like they can hear his skates clicking the ice. And when you start making hurried plays, they're generally bad plays. Here's a nice play by Cullen. Out to Clark. He snaps the wrister and gets a shot at his own rebound. And there was the penalty in front of the goaltender. As you mentioned, a very strong start for Wendel Clark. And still has one of the premier wrist shots in all of the National Hockey League.
The penalty, second of the period, both have gone to Boston, and it's going to be Glen Wesley out of there at 11:46 in the high sticking. The shorthanded goal picked up by Poulin at 9:39, and Shaw got the assist. Poulin's 13th of the year. Boston's going to try it again. Poulin running it in. Boston again shorthanded as the Leafs did not convert on their first power play chance. Dave Ellett sends it in. Boston's had the lead twice here in this first period. Tell you something, that's going to cause a little black and blue for it's done, John. What a shot put on by Dave Poulin. He just rode his man right into the boards. Gilmour tied up on the far side, dug out and cleared out of the zone. Steve Heinze got it out. Toronto getting back onside, hacked at. Ellett able to come away with it, even though Poulin gave it a pretty good whack. Gilmour was on the far side. Blue doesn't mind playing it out himself, does. Gill back to get it. Boston changing up in the penalty killers. Minute 15 left on the power play chance. Intercepted. Sent off the stick of Reid. Gilmour battles it. Got it out of his skates. Andreychuk brings it in. Back for Gilmour. Gilmour dropping it into the corner. Andreychuk tied up. Donato trying to clear it around. Got it on the dasher. Gets a Bruins hop. Ellett had to play it out at center to Gill. And they've got to go back again. 55 seconds remaining on the power play chance. Bruins leading at 2-1. Ellett brings it up. Borchevsky's in the middle now with Andreychuk. Featherstone cuts the play off. Donato picks it up. Finds some room. Jamie Macoun back to get it. Boston, great penalty killing here in the first two chances. Featherstone in. Potvin knocks it down. Jamie Macoun picks it up. Both teams change it up. 30 left on the Bruins. Penalty. Glenn Anderson bringing it in. Anderson, 3. Leach tied up over there. Cullen. Anderson. Clark in front. Anderson looking for him. Hits off the side of the post. He wanted to go back in front, but he couldn't get the pass to Clark. Brought up by Heinze. Heinze moving it in. 10 left on the Bruins penalty. And the Bruins change up again on their penalty killing unit. They're getting fresh legs out in a hurry. Clark gains the red line. Tries to go himself. Gets submarined and taken down. Good check put on by Sweeney. And that'll do it.
The Bruin defenders are playing the one-on-ones terrific. Right there, Sweeney against Clark. Earlier, there was Gordie Roberts against the speedy Glenn Anderson. Just giving the player the outside and then taking him when there's that point of no return.
Boston, Adam Oates got it back. Juneau, and it was cut off by Mironov. Great defensive play by Mironov, or Juneau was in. Sent in by Sylvain Lefebvre. So 0 for 2 in the power play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Bruins continue to lead at 2-1. 5:40 to go, first period. Wide open. Good hitting, hard hockey, very few whistles, and only 2 penalties thus far in the period. Played behind the net by Rouse. Lefebvre got it up to the point. Berg tipped it away but got hit by Featherstone. Chased down in the far end by Roberts. Roberts with Zezel on his back. Roberts got hooked, and that's the penalty. Reaching in, Peter Zezel. He'll go for hooking. The Bruins a power play with a 2-1 lead. Power play underway as the Boston Bruins get the opportunity on the penalty, hooking to Zezel at 14:40. And the Bruins get their first chance. They have a short-handed goal. Now they'll go for the power play goal. Good hit in the far side corner. Sylvain Lefebvre. Lefebvre got tied up with Dave Reid. They are now just getting up out of the corner. There's Reid, who lost his helmet. It's still in the corner. Krushelnyski able to back it out of the zone. McLlwain's pass blocked by Bourque. And Bourque drops it back. Bruins first chance on the power play. Their goals picked up by Poulin on the short-handed goal and Kimble. And a whistle for roughing away from the play. We'll pick up the penalty when we come back. Tom Mees.
Hi, Gary Thorne. You know, Ottawa hasn't won a road game all year. Could it be tonight in Montreal? Jody Hull off the stick of Ruzicka, the goaltender. Darren Rumble with a shot. Mark Lamb, who had camped out in front, gets a stick on the ice for the deflection. Lamb's goal gives Ottawa a 2-1 lead in Montreal, Gary.
2 many men on the ice is going to be the call, and Toronto Maple Leafs, Peter Zezel, has to move in the penalty box to make room for a teammate. It's going to be Glenn Anderson. So the Boston Bruins got a big shot here. There's Pat Burns, the new coach, 4 years at Montreal. Great seasons there. He hates these kind of penalties. 4 years, 174 wins and 104 losses. He's got a team, he says, even though it hasn't made the playoffs for 2 years, they're going to make it this year because I'm not going to be away from it.
The amazing thing with the too many men in the ice penalty is the camera always goes to the coach, and believe me, as a former coach, rarely, if ever, is it the coach's fault. Generally, there's a miscommunication with the players. So next time, folks, they show the coach, it's not him, it's the players. Don't blame them for too many men in the ice penalty.
And an offside on the Bruins, a break for Toronto. This is a 2-man advantage now for over a minute. As you take a look at Stevie Leach, who's filling in for the injured Dmitri Mironov.
And you're right about Burns' record in Montreal. I mean, you talk about a tight defense. In his rookie year, they were the best overall. The next year, second, then second again. 91-92 best. And Toronto right now is second best defensively overall. You still need production, and they're hoping their power play will be the difference in these close playoff games.
What a change. Last season, the Toronto Maple Leafs were 14th in defense. They are second in the league. Their goals against is under 2. Only Chicago better. Donato takes it back. A 2-man power play for another 42 seconds for the Bruins. Boston has a 2-1 lead with just under 4 minutes to go in the period. Ray Bourque brings it in. Back to Donato. Donato down low. Donato looking to center. He's got Bourque behind the net. Bourque moves to the corner. Oates high slot. Oates drops it off. Juneau. Juneau tipped it in behind the net. Rouse clears it up to the point to Bourque. Boston 2-man advantage. 21 seconds. 5-on-3 power play. Ray Bourque looking in front. Leach shot save. And I think it was the defense, the forward who got down. Gilmour went down and blocked that shot before it got in on Potvin. Bourque over to Donato. 7 on the 2-man advantage. Ray Bourque. Leach in front of the net. Donato open. Looking. Drops it. Juneau centered. Potvin can't get it. Shot. Score! A bouncing puck put in by Adam Oates.
Let the puck do the work for you. It goes much faster than any skater, and the Bruins moving it stick to stick. Good positioning in front of the net, into the corners. Juneau tries to go across there to Oates. Gilmour comes back into the puck, eventually ends up on Oates' stick. A matter of time. The way the Bruins were moving the puck around, it was simply a matter of time before they were going to come up with a glorious scoring chance, and once they did, It was put in the net by Adam Oates.
Oates now ties Dave Andreychuk for second in power play goals in the league with 21. Brett Hull leading the league in power play goals with 23. And Adam Oates continues to add to his all-time best record for goals in a season. He now has 36, and that's his 101st point of the year. Power play goal for Boston came on the 5-on-4, so it'll wipe out what was remaining on that penalty. 16:43. Oates gets his 36th from Leach and Juneau. And they have a 3-1 lead with 3:10 to go. Talk about a bouncing puck, though. There wasn't much Potvin was going to do with that. That was just all over the ice. Featherstone back to even strength now. Boston didn't score in the two-man advantage, but just as it got over, they scored in the 5-on-4. Featherstone forced back by Cullen. Bruins getting it set up as the Leafs completed a line change here at center. Poulin sends it across ice, brought in by Heinze. Stevie Heinze, a rookie. Taken away Anderson, cleared it out of the zone. Played back by Gordie Roberts. Gordie Roberts, first U.S.-born 1,000-game player on the ice, a veteran. It's quite a mixture, this Boston team, as always. They love to mix up the veterans and the rookies, and it's always worked to their advantage, and it is right now. They lead the Leafs in Toronto 3-1. What you're doing here is riding the glass elevator of the CN Tower, which is just outside the Sky Dome in downtown Toronto. Got a great restaurant up on top of Toronto, and of course a magnificent view of the city from this tallest, highest building. It looks down on Maple Leaf Gardens.
And just like that, we're back inside. That cameraman ran from the outside to the window, and here we are with live action.
I hope he's layered out there tonight, I'll tell you that. Kimble going back to get it. Sent in by Shaw. Potvin holding it up at the side of the net. The shots, listen to this, are 10-3. Toronto has had 3 shots on goal, and we've played 18 minutes of this first period. Peter Zezel chasing it down, centering pass knocked away by Shaw. So Blues watched a lot of this game, and the sticks and fists get up a little bit, and part of it's got to be Toronto being a little bit frustrated right now. Mark Osborne, the veteran there, 21. While they separate, we'll check in with Tom.
All right, Gary, we're going to check in Vancouver, where the Canucks hosting the Jets. Pavel Bure, how do you stop him? Put him into the bench. That's what Keith Tkachuk says. Ouch. You suppose Jim Schoenfeld delivered any of those hits in his career in Buffalo?
Well, you talk about some great buildings. We get to be in one here tonight in this beautiful barn where Boston has the 3-1 lead in Toronto. Next week we go to the Castle. We will have the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, as we will be at the Forum in Montreal. You'll get to see Pat LaFontaine looking maybe to overtake Mario Lemieux for the scoring lead, and Buffalo trying to gain points. They want that home ice for the playoffs. Boston still thinks they can catch Montreal. They may be right. Buffalo wants to be either in 1 or 2. They may make it. Over at Potvin's head on the shot. Chased down in the corner by Dave Reid. Dumped. Lost. Shot. Potvin the save again. Knocked into the corner. Panteleev had the opportunity. Reid along the boards. Pushes it back to the point. It'll come to the near side. Boston's defenseman stepping up to help out here. Gilmour knocked it away. Reid gets it back. Gilmour. A little room. Gilmour, a lot of room. Squeeze! Hit the crossbar! Penalty coming up, but it hit the crossbar. Gilmour hauled down from behind. Would like to get a penalty shot out of this, but he's not going to from Bill McCrary, but he almost got the goal.
What a terrific job he does of using his body to shield the puck. There are Bruins all around him. He just cuts up the middle, keeps his legs going. You'll see Gilmour coming right now in the middle of your screen. 1 Bruin, 2 Bruins, and he just keeps his body and almost puts it in an inch away. Tremendous effort by a tremendous hockey player, Doug Gilmour.
10th year, averaging 27 goals and 50 assists in his 10 seasons in the National Hockey League. The 19th leading scorer last year. As we said, he right now is tied for 4th in scoring and 1st in assists in the league, and that singular effort through the penalty. Going out is Grigori Panteleev. Gets the hooking at 18:30, and for the 3rd time in this game, the Toronto Maple Leafs will get the opportunity in the power play, but they've not been able to convert, and worse than that from their point of view, they've given up the shorthanded goal, and it'll be cleared out of the zone. Boston's goals picked up by Kimble, Poulin, and Oates. Wendel Clark, back from the injury, has the goal for the Maple Leafs. Dave Ellett, who works the point on this so-called first unit of the power play, away to Cullen. Gill's out there with him. Ellett, blue line shot. Blue tips it away. That's the 5th shot of the period for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Andreychuk held it in. 1 minute left to go in the period. Looking in front. Shot save. Blue. And there's the whistle. Cullen faked the pass. Took the shot. He tried to get Blue to move. He stood his ground.
Dave Andreychuk was going to the front of the net. Cullen looked, and he looked the Bruin defender off. You'll see the puck come in here. Gilmour is going to give the puck right now to Cullen. Here comes Andreychuk in the middle of your screen. Cullen looks off the Bruin defender in front of the net and almost fools Bruin goaltender John Blue. Blue is there to hold the post, and there's the Andreychuk that Cullen was looking at. And Sweeney does a good job of shutting things down once he recovers, as Cullen tried to stuff that in the short side against John Blue.
Power play underway here with 1:23 on it, but less than that left in the period. During our first intermission, Cam Neely coming back for Boston in the coming week. We'll talk about that. The highlights from all the afternoon games, and Billy Smith's number is now in the rafters at the Nassau Coliseum. All that coming up. Tom, Al, and Bill during our first intermission. Gilmour runs it through the middle, over the blue line, dropped it off to Andreychuk. Andreychuk behind the net, Blue left it. Played there by Don Sweeney, but not out. As Cullen held it in, Sweeney got it back. Sweeney brings it. Time remaining in the period is what you're looking at. Potvin behind the net. Toronto's going to have to hurry it, get one more rush out of it. Toronto Maple Leafs bring Todd Gill out, over to Ellett. Ellett moving in. Ellett the move. Got knocked down by Donato. Running the middle. Krushelnyski poked away from him by Featherstone. He was a half a step away from going in for the shot alone. Donato, the hit in the corner on Ellett. And that's going to do it in the first period. 30 seconds left on the power play for the Leafs to start the second.
If you're a Boston Bruins fan, you love this period. It often happens. A good team at the end of a road trip, they're like that old workhorse that gets close to the barn. They want to get there in a hurry, so you have a tremendous game, and you get yourself home. It looks like the Bruins want that to happen tonight.
At the end of one at Maple Leaf Gardens, it's the Boston Bruins leading the Maple Leafs 3-1. Tom, all yours.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. So Dave Poulin with a shorthanded goal and a late goal by Adam Oates have given the Boston Bruins a 2-goal margin. There are 3 other games tonight in the National Hockey League, one of them taking place at the PNE Coliseum in Vancouver. The Jets of Winnipeg visiting the Vancouver Canucks. And the fans there can't wait for the action to start. First period, Gary Bourque with a drive on Bob Essensa makes the save. Then Trevor Linden. He'll try Bob Essensa, but no. Meanwhile, Tim Hunter runs into Essensa and gets called for interference by the referee. Vancouver on the power play of late, 0 for their last 19. One of the reasons why tonight, at least, Bob Essensa. So in the first period of play, it is still no score. The Canucks lead the season series, as you see there, 3 games to none. In Montreal, Ottawa in town. First period, game tied at 1. Andrei Ruzicka tries to clear. Darren Rumble shoots. Mark Lamb avoids. Kevin Haller gets the tip in. 2-1. Let's take a look at it. There's Lamb. He had his skate in the crease area, but as he's being pushed in there, said the ref, so the goal counts. And then just a few moments ago, Todd Ewan to Eric Desjardins in front. Desjardins gets it by the Ottawa goaltender. It is 2-2. That goal came at the 18:55 mark of the first period. Jody Hull got the first goal of the night for the Ottawa Senators, who are still winless on the road this year. Quebec beats Tampa Bay 5-2. That's the good news for Quebec, as Mike Ritchie had 2 goals and an assist. Goaltender Ron Hextall out for 2 weeks. He injured a muscle on his right side. That's all we know now while making a save. He'll be out 10 days to 2 weeks. Without doubt, one of the highlights of the evening for the Boston Bruins in the first period tonight at Toronto was that shorthanded goal by Dave Poulin, and that sort of punctuated the first period of play and helped lead the Bruins to a 3-1 advantage. There are 4 games in the NHL this afternoon. Back to tell you about those in just a moment.
National Hockey Night is presented by the New Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
After 1 at Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens on National Hockey Night, the Boston Bruins lead the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1. I'm Tom Mees, along with Bill Clement and Al Morganti. Let's quickly update you on this afternoon's action in the NHL. 4 games, and hey, it's time to panic in Pittsburgh. The Penguins have lost 3 in a row, their longest losing streak of the season. Big day today for Islander fans, and for the retired goaltender Billy Smith had his number raised to the rafters. And Some of his greatness must have rubbed off on Glenn Healy. Look at the saves he's making all over the ice on the Penguins. Pierre Turgeon doing some scoring for the Isles. Vladimir Malakov sets up Turgeon, who goes between the legs of Barrasso. After netting New York's second goal, Turgeon finishes off the hat trick, rebounding the Malakov drive. Third period, Glenn Healy continuing his stellar play with saves on Jaromir Jagr and Bob Airy. Scotty Bowman saying he looks a lot like Billy Smith, doesn't he? Billy Smith's number 31 rises to the rafters. A sellout on Long Island. The Islanders, if the playoffs started right now, would be in. The Rangers would be out. They're laughing all over Long Island as I say that. The Flyers at the North Stars this afternoon. First period, 2-0 Philadelphia. As we go to highlights, Trent Platt, rookie from Minnesota, the Gophers. The nice work in the corner, controls the puck, backhand pass to Mark Tenorti. That made it 2-1 Philly. Second period, Neil Broughton also played at Minnesota. And Gaetan Duchesne, a 2-on-1 break. Broughton holds the puck, picks his spot, scores. Shorthanded, 3-2 North Stars. Here they come. 4-2 Minnesota. The Mike McPhee wins the race to the loose puck and scores. 5 unanswered goals for the Stars. Tommy Soderstrom might have felt like hiding. Minnesota wins it by a score of 5-2. So the North Stars in the North Division now have 68 points, only 6 out of the lead. The LA Kings, they're up, they're down again. In Washington today, time winding down the first period, 2-0 Caps. Wayne Gretzky can't stop it past Don Beaupre. Was that kind of day. Second period, the Caps explode. Check out the effort here by Peter Bondra. He's up, he's down, he's up again. Sounds like a prize fight. Still controls the puck. Says, stop this, Kelly Rudy. He didn't. 4-0 Caps. With a score 5-zip, Dmitri Kristich beats Rudy, giving the Caps a 6-0 lead. The Caps go on to win it by the score of 7-3. The Washington Capitals firmly entrenched in second place now, 3 points ahead of New Jersey in the Patriot Division. The Oilers at the Whalers. Should be easy for Edmonton, right? Second period, Hartford's Nick Kyprios gets knocked down but pushes the puck over to Patrick Poulin, who beats goalie Bill Ranford on the doorstep. 2-1 Hartford. Then out of the Whalers zone, Andrew Castles to Pat Verbeek. You've heard the give and go in basketball. Give, go, back, score. 4-1 Whalers after 2. Third period, Pat Verbeek. Off the bad Edmonton stick work here. A couple of guys get mixed up. He's on a breakaway, trying for the natural hat trick, and he gets it. They have something to cheer about in Hartford. 11,000 plus on hand for a Saturday matinee. Hartford wins it by a score of 7-3, temporarily cooling off the hot Edmonton Oilers. Well, stay with us because in a moment we'll show you why hockey fans are getting excited in Boston. Not so much over the first period tonight, but the return of this guy, Cam Neely. Back in a moment. Welcome back to our National Hockey Night studios. Along with Bill Clement, I'm Tom Mees. Fans in Boston are excited. Bill, their team leads 3-1. They'll be home for the first time in 7 games on Thursday night, and they have a big reason why they're excited.
Cam Neely's coming back, but you know, it's been so long since he's played, you have to think back to remember just how strong the Bruins were with Cam Neely. That tells you how resilient this organization has been to be able to be a contender without him. While some people say, you don't know what you got till it's gone, believe me, the Bruins knew. For 5 seasons, Cam Neely was the prototypical power forward, a body checker who could inflict tremendous punishment, and a scorer with the hands of the top snipers. But all that was put on hold after the 2-time 50-goal scorer suffered a potential career-ending knee injury during the '91 playoffs. After grueling rehab, Neely promised he'd return to his robust style of play. And while he fulfilled that promise in spirit, last season he managed to play only 9 games. Once again, the Bruins were left with a huge void.
I don't think anybody can win the cup if you don't have all your weapons. And, you know, we got as far as we could get last year without Cam. And, you know, we need him desperately.
Now Neely's second comeback attempt draws near, and his optimism equals his anticipation.
Today's the best my knees felt since I started skating, so it was very encouraging. Considering what I look like now and how I feel, things are encouraging.
He goes for an hour and 15 minutes with the team, and then I get him for about 30 minutes after that. So he's been going through all that. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking they're talking about him playing. He won't get in 4 games what I've been giving him to in like 2 hours of practice. So he'll be glad to get back in the lineup.
We've got 25 games left, and we want him prepared and as good as he can possibly be for late in the season in the playoffs. And really, that's his goal, too.
Well, you heard Bruins assistant coach Tommy McVie really say something that sounded kind of threatening about how hard he works him. I played for Tommy McVie in Washington long enough. If he says he's going to be in shape, Cam Neely will be in shape, believe me.
Did he work you hard?
Yeah, real hard.
He worked everybody hard, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Al, listen. We've heard tonight about Adam Oates. We've heard and seen about Cam Neely. We've even heard about John Blue. Where the heck is Ray Bourque in all this?
The man you take for granted.
Right.
The Bruins, through the years, their great players play great in key situations. Ray Bourque absolutely epitomizes that. What he's done is remarkable. They've not had good goaltending, Tom. As we see, you know, Moog headed for his highest goals against average in his career. They have trouble with Cam Neely out, but they stay 10 games above 500. They stay in the hunt. They stay near the top because of Raymond Bourque. He runs the power play. He's a calming influence. The problem now is people that watch the Bruins all the time, for the first time in his career, and he's 32, when he gets a bump, when he gets a bruise, he's not over it in a minute like he used to be. It takes a little while. So I think there's some fear about the long-range future for Ray Bourque, and I don't know how they're ever going to replace Ray Bourque.
It's that old saying, Al, nobody beats Father Time. He always wins in the end. Well, what about Toronto in this first period? They look a little bit shaky, though.
Simple. They're not sticking to Pat Burns' game plan. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Early in the first period, when Boston got their first goal, Bruins were coming up ice. Now, Toronto wants to put first-man pressure on, so here's Doug Gilmour. He doesn't make first-man pressure. They move it by him, so that means the second guy can't come in. But watch Borchevsky. See him? He tried right here to move in. Yeah, he moved in all right this way, but the play was going that way, so he got caught. So that's a mistake. Now, we cut to later in the play. Watch this. All three guys, Borchevsky and Gilmour and Todd Gill, watch them. They all turn their backs on the play. That's not Pat Burns. You got to face the play. That's why Darin Kimble, number 29 for the Bruins, ended up with the puck on a 3-on-2 situation in front of the net. So it's two bad plays. They're just not sticking to the good defensive game plan.
Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes for Pat Burns and his Maple Leafs. That's one of the reasons why they're trailing by 2 goals. It's Boston 3, Toronto 1. Ready for the second period in a moment. Hockey Night returns next Saturday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. An Adams Division War. The Buffalo Sabres at the Forum in Montreal. Don't miss it next Saturday night.
10 seconds into the period, the puck shot into the seats as 20 seconds remains on the Boston penalty. The Toronto Maple Leafs are on the power play to start the second period. Boston's Darin Kimble got his fourth at 2:56. Roberts and Donato to give Boston a 1-0 lead. The captain back. Clark's 10th at 5:25. Cullen the assist 1-1. Back in action here with 11 seconds left to go on it. Brought in by Clark down the middle. Tied up by Bourque. Clark the shot. Missed it on the short side. Len Anderson. Anderson dumps it in the corner. Cullen knocked it away to Anderson. Anderson looking to the front of the net. Penalty's over. Bruins back at even strength have killed it off. Wraparound on Blues. Deflected out by Ray Bourque. They got the stick in on the attempted shot. So we're back to even strength. It'll be touched up. And Sylvain Lefebvre will have to start it from his own end. Both teams make the line changes. Gary Thor and Jim Schoenfeld here in Toronto. ESPN's National Hockey Night, where the Bruins have the 3-1 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Trying to win their 6th in a row. Peter Zezel trying to dump it in front. Couldn't. You know how hard it's been for the Leafs when they haven't won 6 in a row since 1983. Can you imagine that? Comes to center ice, Dave Ellett. Ellett ships it in. Played around the boards. This Toronto Maple Leafs team last season won 20 a total last season. That does not equal this year's. They were 30, 43, and 7. If they win tonight, they'll have equaled their total wins of all last year. Shot on high by Leach. Rebounded all the way to center. So if they can win tonight, their 30th win, equaling the total wins they had last year. Osborne sends it in. Featherstone going back to get it. Both teams will make changes here as we are underway in the second. Bad pass. Gilmour centered shot. Score! Gilmour intercepting the mark. Osborne.
Glen Featherstone with a giveaway for the Bruins. Stopped by Gilmour. Osborne one-times it. Past the Boston goaltender Blue, who comes out to cut down the angle. That leaves a little too much of the long side open. Osborne wasting no time converting that Gilmour pass. And Gilmour closer to Daryl Sittler.
Boy, I'll tell you, these turnovers in this game, both teams committing them, and each time it happens, it becomes very costly. We are back to a 1-goal game as Osborne picks up his 11th goal of the season. Makes it a 3-2 game. Boston has had the lead throughout except for the 1-1 tie in the first period when Toronto answered the first goal scored. Along the boards. Comes free to center to Sweeney. Sweeney drops it back to Ray Bourque. Bourque back over to Sweeney. C.J. Young in front, tried to get it. Sweeney lost it along the boards. Borchevsky gives the shot to Young, but C.J. Young will run it in. Young going to the corner. Lefebvre ties him up. Borchevsky pushes it around the other way. Over to get it is Dave Poulin. Poulin centering pass intercepted, and back Gilmour off to Borchevsky. Borchevsky taken out of the play by Sweeney, and Ray Bourque will go back to get it. Ray Bourque playing in his 1,005th game for the Bruins. That centering pass was mighty close. Don Sweeney just turned the wrong way that time, or he probably would have been in on net. Poked wide of the net, wraparound shot, empty net, getting back, Blue rebound, deflected in front, no shot on goal, covered up. Dave Andreychuk circled with a backhand chance. He had Blue out of position. The Bruins had enough bodies so that they couldn't get it through on net. There you see the numbers for Doug Gilmour. First in assists, Pat LaFontaine and Craig Janney following him. And Gilmour picks up another one on the goal, picked up by Osborne at 1:43.
The Bruins in the first period did everything right defensively. They started the second period doing almost everything wrong. Unforced turnovers, being beaten to the puck, losing the one-on-one battles, and they have to scramble in their zone as the Leafs are picking up momentum with each shift of the second period.
I have a feeling that paint is just cooling down right now inside that Toronto dressing room. Burns could not have been happy with that first period. Panteleev got it away to Reid. Panteleev's got a lot of room. Panteleev moving in, looking for the shot. Takes it right through the crease. Potvin got a little piece of that as it went by. Wesley back for Panteleev. Moving to the near side, Grigori Panteleev. Rouse is on him. Rob Rouse tied him up. Held in the zone, Dave Reid. Reid looking to center, added block. And it's going to be swept out of the zone. No. Held in, near side. Reid looking, shot, score! Dave Reid! Bruins get it back!
And yet more sloppy defensive play and good offensive zone pressure by the Bees result in a Bruin goal. A good pinch by the Bruins and back up by the winger. Reid, a good shot off the post, and he's been on fire. Dave Reid is known as a checking winger and does an extremely good job killing penalties and shutting down opposing forwards who are high producers. But lately, he has been on a scoring tear, Gary.
Really helping this team out, and Dave Reid's got to love it because he played here in Toronto. 28 years old, 9th season, 3 of the years. Toronto Maple Leafs, the uniform that he wore. So he gets one, and the Bruins are back on top by 2 again. 4-2 as the goals come in a hurry against a couple of teams here, as we said, who like to play the defensive battle. Blue getting it up and not out. Osborne held it in, knocked down by Gordie Roberts. Played back to Featherstone, whips it to Leach. Near side to Juneau. Juneau runs it in. Sylvain Lefebvre on him, spun him around. Juneau, who is very quick. Bruins have added real team speed this year. Adam Oates. Roberts the shot, deflected wide. Potvin down in a full split on that one. Peter Zezel, Roberts there with him. Zezel, and an offside as he had to reach back and pull it in the zone. So the scoring fast and furious as Reid gets his 17th from Ruzicka at 3:19. Boston Bruins leading at 4-2. Shots go 13-8 in favor of the Bruins. Potvin, watch him throughout the game and how deep he plays in the net. Jimmy was looking at it before the game. That was a hit on Bill Berg going to the boards.
Featherstone leveling Berg. That's a lot of hockey player hitting it. He's a big man, Featherstone. And his game has improved steadily this season. They've done a lot of work with his skating, a lot of work with his defensive positioning. And he will continue to improve as the season wears on.
Featherstone is playing at their minor league club in Providence, called up on November 23, and has been playing ever since his arrival. Sweeney, Gilmour on the intercept, looking for Andreychuk in the middle, way offside. They say it didn't fully cross, so they'll give him a chance to get onside. Andreychuk out of the zone, poked away. Good play by Donato. Donato moving in from behind. Good shot on Rouse. Donato, great checking job right there. It didn't amount to anything, but it certainly was an effort. Ray Bourque over to Sweeney. Sweeney, he'll take the hit along the board. Sweeney just pushes it up. Rouse is there to get it. Rouse sends it back into the middle. Andreychuk and Sweeney do battle. Donato moves in. Donato, Gilmour, Andreychuk, Sweeney all there. Gilmour got it away to Rouse. We have the IQ line when it's out there. Young, Donato, and Sweeney, all graduates of Harvard. in a visit.
Ooh, we should be a little more respectful when we say those names then.
I'm going to tell you. And then you got Juneau and Oates, who graduated from RPI. Juneau got his aeronautical engineering degree in 3 years. Anderson tips it ahead to Cullen. Cullen moving in. Cullen drops it back to Anderson. Gives new meaning to smart hockey. Clark ran into the goaltender. Blues still down. And Panteleev went after him. And now Wendel Clark taking exception. But he ran into John Blue, the goaltender. There was no call made on it. And Panteleev, who's not a muscle man, stood up for Blue.
Clark went into the crease and he took his stick and knocked the feet out from underneath Blue. Panteleev doing what he has to do as a Bruin. You stick up for your goaltenders at all costs.
National Hockey Night is brought to you by Visa, honored at over 6 million more places than American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By Volvo. Volvo would like you to drive safely. And by Sports Cream, fast pain relief and no odor.
Subway system built in 1954, and Charles Pachter, the painter, put those murals downstairs in that subway system. The great fans of Toronto. In on Blue, and he covers it up. Wendel Clark drew the penalty, as Clark got called for roughing on that incident with John Blue and Panteleev in front of the net. So the Boston Bruins are back on the power play.
Well, you'll see Clark to the top of your screen coming to the net, and he's going to use his stick to knock the feet out from underneath Blue. Panteleev's there. He gives him a little left, and this is virgin territory for Panteleev.
Dave Reid drops it. Panteleev shot saved by Potvin. The Boston Bruins breaking out in a hurry on that one. They are 1 for 2 in the power play and got a breakout on the power play chance. Near side, Wesley. Glen Wesley. Bourque. Fake the one time. Drops it off Ruzicka to Bourque. Bourque the shot blocked out of the zone.
Great play by Mark Osborne. When Bourque's winding up, not many guys want to get in front of it. Osborne goes down and makes a big block for the Leafs, not only blocking it, but clearing the defensive zone.
Rouse sends it in. Bourque going back to get it. Penalty killers change. Away from the play, a hit put on. That's what the fans are hollering about as the change is being made. Wesley goes in, back to Bourque. Minute 8 left in the Boston power play. The Bruins are leading 4-2. Having gotten that 2-goal lead back in a hurry. Jamie Macoun touched that one up, and it will be an icing call on the Bruins. And it's getting a little testy out there, as you might expect, between these two teams. Rosie, and going to the dressing room is Osborne after he blocked that shot. I didn't see him take another hit. Did he get hit again?
Unless that was Osborne that got hit behind the play. I couldn't see it. I was following the puck. This is the block here. Osborne goes down, and it appears there to have hit him on the foot. Although it's going so quickly, it's very hard to tell, and that was in slow-mo. But if Bourque hits you on the foot, you can rest assured that's going to be sore for a while.
So he has gone to the dressing room. Mark Osborne, who has a goal in this game. 59 seconds remaining on the penalty to Toronto. Peter Zezel on the face-off. And Adam Oates wins it. Ray Bourque backs it up behind the net. David Shaw. Shaw working on the power play with Bourque. Bourque spun around by Peter Zezel, who's another outstanding penalty killer. Get a few of them in this game. Right into the zone by Shaw. Peter Zezel was there and sends it out. Zezel, a veteran who's been around the National Hockey League, a lot of years put in with the Philadelphia Flyers, St. Louis, and Washington, yet only 27 years old, 28 this year. Very good skater and a very good penalty killer. Bruins down to 27 left in their power play chance. Oates intended for Juneau. Juneau's got to back up with it. He tried to get it to Shaw. Bruins collided at center ice. Bourque and Shaw both went down. Jamie Macoun, little wait time, sends it back the other way. And that's the time remaining on the power play. Shaw has the red line. Shaw looking to break wide side. Tried to get Leach. Jamie Macoun there. Macoun touches it. And that's going to be another icing call. Tom Mees.
Well, Gary, the Winnipeg Jets trying to get off the schneid. 5-1 in their last 6 there in Vancouver tonight. Evgeny Davidov rifles his 23rd of the year past Kirk McLean. And it is Winnipeg 2, Vancouver nothing. The other goal scorer for Winnipeg, Ty Domi.
Winnipeg's got to watch out. They've got 4 points on Edmonton. Edmonton trying to find a playoff spot.
Brian Sutter, Coach of the Year in 1991, of course, with the St. Louis Blues, and he was the first of the 6 Sutter brothers to play in the National League. Here's a bonus question for you, partner. Name the other 5 Sutters.
Darryl.
Yeah?
Gary. Oh, you don't want...
No, not Gary. I want
Gary
Sutter's brothers.
Gary
yeah.
the Sutter brother.
Did play in the league. I'll give this to you a little later on.
Deflected wide in the corner. I don't want to tell Gary he's not a Sutter brother. He's running the farms up there while these guys are running around making money. Come on.
I should have clarified that.
You better clarify that.
National Hockey League. My apologies to Gary as well.
Sent into the middle. Tipped and rolls through the crease. Andreychuk flips it up and out of the zone. Power play's over. The game remains 4-2 in favor of the Boston Bruins. They did not convert on that chance. Adam Oates. Oates coming, Leach trailing. Leach going back into the middle, or at least tried. Dave Ellett cut him off. Tipped into the corner by Nikolai Borchevsky. Borchevsky, a 3-game scoring streak. He's got 3 and 3 in the last 3 games. Blue comes way out of the net to get it. Does he look like Darth Vader in that get-up or what? He's got the darkest mask I've ever seen, and with the Bruins' dark jerseys, when he moves out, it looks like Vader. Tipped in behind the net, and Featherstone's going to be called for tripping. Glen Featherstone tripped. Andreychuk going by. A Toronto power play when we come back. Featherstone out of there, tripping at 8:08. Power play for the Leafs.
Simply a matter of Andreychuk trying to jump on the loose puck. Featherstone, instead of skating after him, sticks out the stick. A bit of a lazy penalty, and that'll cost the Bruins 2 minutes, barring a Maple Leaf goal.
Darryl, Dwayne, Ron, Rich, Brian, and who am I missing? Gary's the other one, but I don't know what I'm...
Gee, I didn't know either. I was hoping you knew.
Cleared along the east side boards. Anderson in the corner, got tied up, pushed it into the middle. Gilmour centered, deflected to Clark, tied up by Bourque. So Clark working the power play here. Anderson, Cullen up front. Great move, shot, Blue, rebound, Anderson, pushed away by Blue. Glenn Anderson, 2 chances, and Blue found the puck on the rebound before Anderson could poke it into what was an empty net. Dave Ellett drops it in the middle. 1:26 remaining on the power play. This has been a great game to watch here. I hope you're enjoying it. Anderson missed it short side. Anderson blew down on the ice. He spent more time down than up. Clark drops it off. Blue flopping all over the place in net here. If they could pick one up, Toronto would be able to shoot it into a lot of twine. Near side Ellett. 1:02 left on the power play. Behind the net, Anderson drops it off to Cullen. They've got Gilmour working the point with Ellett on this power play, bringing Clark in front of the net. Pat Burns has seen him bang enough to know he's back and ready to go, so shove him down there in the power play and let him take the cross checks. Gilmour drops it off. Knocked away, and good clear out of the zone by Sweeney.
After a good flurry by the Leafs and an exceptional move by Clark protecting the puck, the Bruins regained their composure and just stayed in their spots, waited till the Leafs made a mistake, and then iced the puck out of trouble.
Brought back in by Toronto. 25 on the power play. Andreychuk left it. Shot. Score! Tipped in front. Mike Krushelnyski.
A big point shot. Dave Ellett coming up in the play as the Bruins give up the blue line. There's Ellett just rifling it towards the net. And I'm not sure if Krushelnyski touched it or not. You'll see him in front of the goaltender. Here comes the puck. And I believe he tipped it. We'll wait for the referee's call over the shoulder of the Bruin goaltender, Blue.
And a former Boston Bruin, Mike Krushelnyski, I believe will be credited because that puck was redirected up. It was headed down, and it ended up knocking the water bottle up in the air. And it's a 4-3 game. Hang on. We got ourselves a real game going here, and you can feel the pace of this thing picking up as these two teams get a whole lot more interested. Glen Wesley takes it in behind his own net. Full house here at Maple Leafs Gardens tonight, and they are making some noise for their Leafs, especially since there are a number of Bruins fans on hand. Joey Juneau drops it off. Brought in by Shaw. David Shaw ran it into the corner. Back to get it. Lefebvre around to Jamie Macoun. Macoun pushing it up. Comes to Peter Zezel. Zezel drops it off on the near side. Mike Osborne back. Shot. Save. Blue. Sits top of the crease. And Blue again had to reach out as he was down on the ice and knock it away. Sylvain Lefebvre sends it right back in. Blues had a lot of people join him in that crease tonight wearing white uniforms. Cleared up to Adam Oates. Oates Trying to set it up for Panteleev. Went all the way in on net. Felix Potvin. Bruins changing. Clark tipped it. Featherstone's got it. Featherstone waiting for his teammates to clear. Trying to send it back in. Finally, the spin-around move by Adam Oates puts it in the zone. A 4-3 game with 9 minutes to go in the second period. Panteleev had it tipped away to the near side corner. Krushelnyski did get the goal, his 18th from Dave Ellett at 9:48 to make this a one-goal game again. Clark sends it to center. He and Featherstone, two heavyweights. That brings a few people out of their seats. Dave Ellett drops it off near side. Rouse putting it ahead. Clark got a stick on it to avoid the icing as he tipped it into the zone. Brent Hughes. Haven't seen a lot of Brent, and Brent's the other center. That's the one I forgot.
Very good.
Brent Hughes.
Simply a matter of time.
Matter of time. I took what's-his-name's course on remembering. Panteleev, turnaround Hughes, deflected into the seats.
Oh, very good.
Spin it, Vanna. 8:16 to go here. Second period at Maple Leafs Gardens and a 4-3 Boston lead. Thank you, Brent.
Yes, that's right. There's Krushelnyski in front of the net. Blue has a good view of that puck, but once it changes direction, tough to stop it. The Leafs this period very different than the first period, and there are Clark and Featherstone introducing themselves to each other along the boards. The difference between the Leafs is that they're driving to the net this period. Every time they gain the blue line, there's activity in front of blue.
Ray Bourque knocked down. Gets back up. Andreychuk got a piece of him as he went by. Borchevsky in the middle. Just missed him. Sweeney was there. Good job by Sweeney getting back. The back-checking job. Cleared ahead by Lefebvre into the zone. Sylvain Lefebvre. A lot of ice time on defense for these Maple Leafs. A former Montreal Canadien, so Pat Burns knows him well. He played for Burns at the Forum. Gilmour's got it on the near side. Trying to send it out. Deflects by Donato. In on goal. Taken behind the net by Lefebvre. 7:36 to go. Second period. Full house and delighted to have you with us. Gary Thorne, Jim Schoenfeld, ESPN's National Hockey Night from Toronto. Hockey is taken mighty seriously. It has been for 76 years. Jamie Macoun's got it. Macoun flips it out of the zone. Gilmour near side just let it bounce. Borchevsky got it in. Sweeney intercepts and drops it back. Sweeney working with David Shaw now in the defensive unit. Kimble, who's got a goal, sending it in. Jamie Macoun. Boston will change it up on the fly. Lefebvre coming through the middle. Tipped away off Gilmour. Sweeney again with it. Sweeney clearing it up and out of the zone. Lefebvre back to get it as we play at center ice now. Each team unable to get by the other's defensive core. Borchevsky ahead. McLlwain coming. McLlwain, the shot, blew the save, and he looked behind him. He thought it had gone by Adam Oates, but he'd made the save. Shots now. 15-14 Toronto as they poured it on here in the second period. They had only 6 shots in the first. Andreychuk knocked down by Shaw. Cleared out of the zone. Just avoiding the hit on the near side was Juneau. Dave Ellett back. But again, the teams change it up on the fly. Juneau tipped it. Nobody's got it. Banged up off the boards, and Oates finally controls after Juneau had put it up off the boards. He gets hauled down by McLlwain. No call. Gordie Roberts sending it in. Good job being done right here in the second period by Bill McCreary. He's letting him play. There's some they could call, don't call. The pace of this game, though, is so good, he's just letting them go. Pearson sends it back. Cut down by Blue. Sent around the boards for Juneau. Taken first by Roberts. Then Juneau's got it. Juneau. His name's been changed 3 times this season by the press. He finally told everybody, my name is Joey with the accent. That's it. That's what's on my birth certificate. So, Joey it is. Knocked away by Joey, and out of the zone, Featherstone, they've got it clear. Boston will take the opportunity to change up. Few whistles, and this is just good hockey back and forth. Even Macoun gets turned by Poulin. Poulin, who's got a short-handed goal in this game for the Bruins. Got it up along the boards. Lefebvre couldn't handle it. Glen Wesley, tip, save, rebound, loose, shot deflected wide of the net. Steve Heinze. Heinze had the chance after Potvin made the initial save. Ray Bourque tried to knock it down, couldn't. This will be an icing call when touched up by Glen Wesley. 5:08 to go in the second. Boston's lead down to 1.
John Blue makes a pad save on this shot by Dave McLlwain, but looks behind him. I don't know if that's a good sign for the Boston Bruins. Makes the save and wonders where the puck is, but he did keep it in front of him.
5:08 left to go. Second period scoring. Osborne at 1:43 from Gilmour. Boston answering Dave Reid's 17th at 3:19 from Ruzicka. And Krushelnyski at 9:48 from Dave Ellett to make it a one-goal game, 4-3. And then the defense has tightened up both ways. Toronto clearing it out of the zone. Ray Bourque going back to get it. Bourque continues to play so many minutes for the Boston Bruins. Talking with him this morning, Raymond said, anybody thinks I've slowed up, they better take another look, and they especially better take a look when the playoffs come. So they'll have something else to think about at that point. Bourque goes back to get it. He's not cut down on his minutes, ice minutes here at all, nor really in the caliber of his play. Reid drops it off to Ruzicka. Back for Reid. Kicked it in. Get a stick on it. Can't. Dave Ellett tipped it away, and Glenn Anderson able to clear it out. No icing. Blue likes to wander a little bit. He comes out once in a while. Panteleev's got it. Panteleev hooked from behind by Anderson. Shot up in the air by Reid over the head of Potvin. Played by Mironov behind the net. Mironov getting some playing time. He's from the unified team. 3 years with the Soviet Wings. 27 years old on defense. Gilmour drops it back. Borchevsky. Right pad save by Blue. That was a game tire. That was headed for the post.
That was a quick release and a great right pad shot out there by John Blue.
Gilmour's centering pass. Leach had to reach around to get it. Sends it out. There's Mironov right there. Mironov comes to the red line and sends it in. Held onto by Blue. Played behind the net. Sweeney jammed it up for Leach. Sweeney tied up by Andreychuk. Puck free, so they'll try it back this way. Rouse says and moves up to hold it in. Gilmour centering shot. Borchevsky, a great save by John Blue. Shot. Andreychuk, save by Blue. Picked up by Leach. Big chances to tie this game up on this shift for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Rouse takes it in behind the net. 3:11 to go in the second period. Borchevsky tipped it ahead. Gilmour, he's alone. Gilmour moving in, tied up by Gordie Roberts. Borchevsky couldn't get it. Cleared out of the zone. Juneau. Juneau sends it to Oates. Adam Oates moving. Oates drops it. Shot deflected wide off Jamie Macoun. Big wind-up shot that time by Darin Kimble. Cleared out. Roberts back to get it. 4-3. Bruins leading. Deflected. Osborne dropped it in. Osborne side of the net, but it was deflected by Roberts. Gilmour the shot through a screen. Covered. And knock it away. Osborne was Ted Donato, who again didn't like the reach in on his goaltender. The Bruins 4, the Maple Leafs 3.
Boston's John Blue doing everything he can to keep the Bruins with a 1-goal lead. He'll stone Borchevsky right here. And then Gilmour will have the puck with a wide open Mark Osborne. There's a save on Andreychuk. Gilmour will have the puck inside the blue line. He's looking. Osborne's yelling. He shoots through the screen, and Blue grabs it and smothers the rebound as Osborne is there to tap it in.
Ted Donato knocking him away after the save was made. 2:36 to go in the second period. Zezel and Bourque collide. Ray Bourque is now over 17 minutes played in this game with 2:29 to go in the second period. Centering pass intercepted by Jamie Macoun. Macoun will turn it up ice. Macoun being dragged from behind by Dave Poulin. Sends it into the zone. Mark Osborne, and that's going to be an offside call. Here at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight, our Visa storyline. Some exciting play. The Bruins leading the league. Their 17th short-handed goal scored here tonight by Dave Poulin. Gilmour's 8-game scoring streak is alive. Adam Oates, 36 goal, 21 of them on the power play, tied for second in power play goals. Look at the second period shots. A complete reversal of the first period.
Two teams exchanging insults. All Bruins first period and all Leafs the second period.
Brian Sutter, biggest contract Bruins have ever given a coach. 4 years, $1.2 million.
Wow.
That's why he has one assistant.
But a very good one at that. Tom McVie, one of the best in the game.
And that's not true. That's all they wanted. When Sutter came in, Brian said, I only want one assistant. As long as I get the one I want, Tommy McVie's the one he wanted. Shot on Osborne. Another save made by Blue. Zezel trying to run it in front of the net and couldn't do it. Check put on in the corner. Freed the puck up. Osborne knocks it back behind the net. Bill Berg had the good hit. Berg's not seen a lot of action. Glen Wesley clears it out. Sylvain Lefebvre has got it. Lefebvre sends it in. Blue deflects it behind the net. Played back there by David Shaw. Again, Berg up on the forecheck. Took a whack to the ribs and heads to the bench. Brought the other way. Bruins Steve Heinze. Heinze taken out of the play. Jamie Macoun rides him all the way to the boards. In return, Dave Poulin puts the hit in the corner on Lefebvre.
The Leaf defenders finishing their checks much better the second period than they were the first period. They're staying with the man. They're taking him out of the play and then beating him back into the play.
That'll prevent some good passing if you do that. Sweeney trying to clear it out. Wendel Clark almost coughed that up in front of his own net this last time. Taken away by Leach. Clark almost intercepting again. Leach brings it in. Taken out of the play. Clark up and cleared out of the zone as Bourque couldn't hold it in. Again, Blue coming way out. Sweeney's there. Blue looks like he likes to get out of that crease.
Wants to stay involved, and he's played extremely well the second period for the Bruins.
Final minute of this period. Dave Reid sends it in. We'll send you back to our studios with Al, Bill, and Tom, and they'll update you on all the activity in the National Hockey League. A busy day and night. Clark put it behind his back. Couldn't do anything with it. Roberts sent it into the bench. Roberts and Wendel Clark go to the corner, along with a few other folks.
Roberts has played one-on-ones textbook well tonight. He has taken the man. He has given him just enough room so he could shut him down. And he's making contact just outside or just at the Bruin blue line. That's where you want to make first contact. Obviously, the forwards don't like being hit. They're going to take exception.
It's Stevie Leach of Boston.
Yeah. And Ellett.
Dave Ellett.
I don't think we'll see any haymakers thrown here. Pushing, shoving, a little hockey jargon, and then get ready to face off.
Mark Vines moving in with Ray Scapanello, the linesman for this game.
Well, this is Wendel Clark coming and gives a little left hook right there to Roberts. Roberts has been around. You're not going to do that without getting a shove back. And in come the Bruins to help out. And then the pushing and the shoving ensues. Featherstone, the Bruins heavyweight, is there, but nothing happens.
There will be some penalties here we'll pick up on all that going in the corner. Coming up on ESPN's National Hockey Night in our second intermission, as we said, the scores and all the highlights. And Mario Lemieux is supposed to be back against the New Jersey Devils this week.
Wow.
And the plays of the week all coming up.
Well, I hope that's true. I would love to see Mario back and back to stay. We'll keep our fingers crossed that that's a good scoop and that all goes well from the time leading up to that game.
He's hardly missed any time on the ice. When we were in Pittsburgh talking to their people, the cameras caught him a couple of times, but he'd been on the ice virtually all along.
Right. Everyone
with the
seems to be amazed at maintaining his strength throughout this ordeal. And if he can come back, the Penguins are struggling a little bit. We didn't think they would. They seem to weather the storm quite well. It may have caught up to them. What a boost that would be for the Pittsburgh Penguins to have 66 back on the ice.
Gilmour out on the ice waiting here with 39.5 remaining to go. Dave Ellett picks up the penalty at 19:20, and Leach goes with him, both of them for roughing. So they are matching minors. So under this year's rules in the National Hockey League, we end up with a 4-on-4 when you have coincidental minors and no other penalties up there. Tipped away by Juneau in the corner. Played by Gilmour. Gilmour jammed up, tried to get it to the point. Adam Oates is there to take it away. 23 seconds left in the period. Bruins leading 4-3. Gray Bourque in, shot, save, bounced up off the arm of Potvin. Held in by Sweeney. Ray Bourque ran that one in to try to break. And Gilmour jumping in front, rolls in on Blue, sweeps it away to Bourque. You're looking at the time remaining in the period right there. Sweeney a chance for one long shot, takes it wide of the net, played by Potvin. Behind the play, the sticks are up. We're going to have penalties. Gilmour, Bourque. We're slashing and hacking.
As the intensity level rises, both teams on the verge of nastiness here. Here's Bourque, little elbow to the head, throws Gilmour to the ice. Gilmour's not going to like that. Before that, Sweeney and Andreychuk were spearing each other, punching each other, working their way up the ice. You'll see it starts here. Sweeney's lost his helmet. He gives Andreychuk a shot. There's a stick. Boom, a little spear, a punch, another spear. And then they separate. That's just Good, hard hockey, partner.
There'll be more penalties at the end of 2 from Toronto. It's the Bruins 4 and the Leafs 3. Tom.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Catch your breath. Get ready for what should be a great third period for Maple Leaf Gardens, a one-goal hockey game in favor of the Bruins. Other action tonight around the NHL. In Vancouver, the Canucks hosting the Winnipeg Jets in a Smythe Division battle. This one is a tight affair. It was 2-1 Winnipeg until Robert Cron scored just a moment ago. He was actually centering the puck on the backhand, banked in off the defenseman, but it counts. Cron credited with the goal, so it's 2-2 now in the second period there. Could the Ottawa Senators win a road game anytime soon? Well, they haven't done so this year. They may not tonight in Montreal as well. This is Gary Lehman, the former Maple Leaf, making it 4-2. Norm McIver has just scored for Ottawa, so it is now 4-3. Eric Desjardins, the big star of the night for Montreal, with 2 goals, his 11th and 12th of the season. And earlier this evening in Halifax, Nova Scotia, the Quebec Nordiques over Tampa Bay 5-2. Big story there. Quebec goaltender Ron Hextall was injured in the first period, making a save, injured a muscle on the right side. That's all we know for now. But we do know also that he'll be out anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks, and that is bad news for the Quebec Nordiques in the competitive Adams division. Very competitive game, 4-3 Boston after 2. Back with more in a moment. Operational, I'm with Bill Clement and Al Morganti. I'm Tom Mees, and Bill and I always look forward to going into Al's corner. And we begin with maybe the biggest name in hockey, Mario Lemieux. He's continuing his radiation treatments. They are to go through the entire month of February. Could he be back sooner than expected?
Well, the very good news is he's doing so well that he's practicing with the club. Practice doesn't feel bad, feels like he's got plenty of strength. There's a bit of a commotion now because Lemieux feels so good, he says he wants to go out and play. Now, the Penguins are in a position now where the doctors are telling them and to warn Mario Lemieux, hey, this could be a cumulative thing. The longer this goes on, it may hit you at the end, it may hit you a week after you're done. So the Penguins at this point are insisting that Lemieux finish the treatments, which end March 1st, and then see how he feels after that. But with Lemieux, is he going to try to push it? I really doubt, and all indication from Pittsburgh are they're going to make him finish the treatments. Elsewhere, it was a tale of 2 owners this week in the NHL. In Minnesota, it wasn't that long ago that everything was real plush for Norm Green and the North Stars. Well, once again, it's the land of 10,000 rumors. This time that they're going to Dallas. He's been there twice, and they're starting to call Norm Green Tex in Minnesota. That's how sure they are they're leaving. Now, one guy that's getting called a lot of names, and it's not Tex, Peter Pocklington in Edmonton. He just turned down a $50 million offer from a local group to sell the club. Everybody's upset in Edmonton. Every deal, it seems, has to include money in Pocklington's pockets. He's nixed 2 deals. They're very unhappy up there with ownership. On the real ice, as for players, Brendan Shanahan quietly having a great season with those Blues. Already career high in goals, 35. He leads the Blues with 22 even-strength goals, and maybe he's going to make people think again when they say it was a disaster to lose Scott Stevens in that arbitration case. He's really having a great year. Now, as for expansion, the Mickey Mouse scene, you know, it was Miami that was shaky for a while. Now we hear it's Anaheim that's a little shaky. They're trying to get a new deal with their arena out there, trying to strong-arm people to get a better deal. It looks like they're telling people they're on hold for about another year, and I don't know if that's the case. Here we have the scene from last week's Pittsburgh game. There was some commotion that they were going to maybe send the tapes to the league, and people reaching over get suspended. Nothing came of it. No further suspensions in that incident there. As far as that expansion goes, I hear that Bob McCammon's still in the picture to maybe get a look as the GM in Southern California. And one more item, the Dream Team, kaput. Maybe in 98, not for 94. Not enough time to get it done.
All right, Tex, thanks very much for those words of wisdom from Al's Corner. Well, Valentine's Day has come and gone. It was just last Sunday, wasn't it? But we haven't forgotten some of the lovely plays of the week, and they'll be coming your way next in a moment. We'll be taking a loving look back, if you will, at some of the best plays of the past 7 days, and we present them to you as our belated Valentine's gift on Plays of the Week. In honor of the recent Valentine's Day celebration, you'll just love what we got on tap this week. You gotta love Mark Fitzpatrick of the Islanders with a glove save on the Rangers' Ed Olczyk. And John Blue's rapier-like left hand robbing Montreal's Vincent Damphousse. The Habs didn't fare much better in Philadelphia as Dmitri Yushkevich helps Tommy Soderstrom preserve a scoreless tie. Here's a pair of beauties by Grant Fuhr of Buffalo. First, on Jaromir Jagr's breakaway attempt. Then he recovers just in time to foil the Whalers' Patrick Poulin with a glove. And if you like those, you will love these.
The shot saved, Van Beesbroek. The rebound, Janney is in. He stick handles, and Van Beesbroek stopped him. Oh, an incredible save! Brendan Shanahan cutting in. He's got some room down the slot. He holds, he shoots, save, Van Beesbrook! Unbelievable!
In the spirit of affection, we'll keep hits to a minimum this week. You know, that's good news for those who have a hard time choosing who to hit. And it's even better news for those who choose to hit Eric Lindros of Philadelphia. Look out. We're certain you'll love our wild array of lamplighters. John Casey couldn't clear the puck except into his own net here in Minnesota. And Hartford's Andrew Castle picked up a goal and a facial in scoring against Calgary. Ouch, babe. Assist to the left eye of Andrew Castle. And even the great scorers like Brett Hull get the occasional bizarre tally. Off the back and in. Bizarre, eh? Well, here's some more conventional scores as Vladimir Malakoff undoes the Ranger defense to set up Brad Delgarno for the old yawner. And watch Wayne Gretzky and Marty McSorley set up Mike Donnelly for the score while the great one directs traffic. And even though it's not brilliant, we have to acknowledge the end of Gretzky's 16-game goalless drought. Closing credits now with the Islanders' Benoit Hogue on a penalty shot.
Let's watch it right into your living room or wherever you are. Yeah.
Picked up by Yzerman. Yzerman against the rookie defenseman Dykhouse. Gets a pick from Constantino. Yzerman scores! There you go. Up tilt by Yzerman.
And a breakaway by Ronak. Ronak coming alone, shorthanded. He scores!
Chance for Kovalov on a breakaway. Kovalov! Score!
Oh, baby.
You gotta love it. See you next week. And if you're an Ottawa Senator fan, you gotta love this. Unassisted, Mark Lamb gets the goal. They give it to him unassisted. He beats Ruzicka. Ottawa is tied up Montreal 4-all. We'll be back with more on National Hockey Night in just a moment.
And features the high-flying Boston College Eagles against Connecticut. Plus a battle of two top teams in a conference that's up for grabs. Duke faces Florida State.
ESPN Jam Session.
National Hockey Night is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Volkswagen, maker of the new V6 Passat touring sedan.
Little snow coming down. The Eaton Center, 4-level shopping center, modeled after the Galleria in Milan, Italy. Over 800,000 people a week visit that. That's right downtown here in Toronto. I've eaten there many a time. It is a great ice cream shop inside. Bruins are leading the Maple Leafs by a score of 4-3 as we get set to go to the third period.
There's Glen Featherstone, a big hit on Berg of the Leafs. As the score tightens, the intensity level rises. This is Clark coming in, dumping the Bruin goaltender Blue. Panteleev trying to make him pay the price. And that's new for Panteleev, and Clark gets the left in, ends up serving a penalty. And we finish off with Andreychuk and Don Sweeney doing battle first of all in the corner. And then all the way up the ice, they exchange blows, a push, a shove, a hit, and a spear. And we should be in for a pretty good third period, Gary.
Now, Ray Bourque got a penalty at the 20-minute mark for roughing. So it is a 4-on-3 power play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are trailing here by a score of 4-3. The incidental minors to Leach and Ellett are still being served. A minute 6 left on those. So our 4-on-3 power play. Gilmour's got it. Gilmour hit by Wesley and knocked down. Poulin goes back to get it. Jamie Macoun knocks it to the far side boards. Macoun, it's a great chance for the Leafs now to get this game tied up again. Near side Macoun. Macoun over to Gilmour. Gilmour on the off shooting side for him. Macoun back to him. Looking for the weak side wing forward. Moving in. Tried to center. Covered up by Blue. Andreychuk was trying to put it across to Borchevsky on the far side. Toronto Maple Leafs. There you see what we were talking about earlier. That's how much they have struggled in recent years. They have been out of the playoffs for the last 2 seasons, and losing seasons have been the norm for this team of late. But this year, looks like they're going to put a winning year together for, well, about the first time since 78-79 is the last time they had a winning season during the regular season. Cleared out of the zone by the Bruins.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall at the end of the first period to hear what Coach Pat Burns had to say to his troops. They were very nonchalant, not in the game mentally. Cost them on a too-many men in the ice penalty. They came out in the second period, a brand new hockey team, and really took the play to the Boston Bruins.
Dave Poulin, nice defensive play to clear it out. Shots on evidence, what you just said, Jim. 11-6 Boston in the first, 14-5 Toronto in the second. Still have the power play underway. 49 seconds left. Macoun, shot blocked by Sweeney. Macoun chases it down himself. 3 seconds on the coincidental. Macoun again. Blue tipped it away with a stick. The coincidentals are over. Leach and Ellett are out. Still a power play. Now it's a 5-on-4 power play for Toronto. And they've got 30 seconds remaining on it. The Maple Leafs 1 for 4 on the power play in this game. The Bruins lead it by 1. Gilmour drops it to Cullen. Back. Tended for Gilmour all the way around to Ellett. Ellett pushes it up the boards. Gilmour gets it back to him. Ellett shot blocked by Gordie Roberts. Held in Gilmour. Tried to center. Had it taken away and cleared out by Shaw. Freed at center. Nobody's got it. 5 left on the power play. Intercepted and sent straight ahead. Good play by Shaw. Ellett, that's going to do it. Great penalty killing job by Boston. Cullen had it blocked by Bourque, who's just come out of the penalty box. So the Leafs do not take advantage of that chance to tie this game up. Ellett sends it in. Glenn Anderson back to get it centered. Bounces off Clark. Clark tied up by Oates away to Anderson. Anderson back for Clark. Clark looking for Cullen in front of the net. Pass behind him. Ellett sends it in. Clark waiting. Clark again trying to center Cullen. That one knocked away. And the Bruins will get it out of the zone to Leach. Leach moving as the Leafs are changing. Leach in. The shot. Potvin. He plays so far back in the net. That shot almost went over his shoulder and in. Where it should have been, if you move out, that just kind of bounces off you and stays out in the circle.
A much easier save when you're well out. Even if the puck glances off you, if you're well out, it's going to be wide of the net. If you're back in the net the way Potvin plays and it glances off you, there's a good chance it's going to go into the net.
Toronto coach is saying they're working with him on that. They're trying to get him to come out a little more and play the angles out rather than stay back as he did at the minor league level. Lefebvre sends it in. Played by Blue. Taken by Bourque. We are 3+ minutes into the third period of this game. Intercepted by Berg. Berg sending it in for Peter Zezel. Onside. Zezel centered off Blue's stick. Berg gets the rebound. Berg drops it to Osborne. Osborne over to Zezel. Zezel with Bourque on him. Bourque ties him up. Bourque has only 20 minutes in penalties this season with the 2 that he added here in this game. No whistle here. And finally, Bill McCurry decides they're not going to move it. Our scoring summary here in Toronto for this game. Mark Osborne's 11th, coming at 143. Gilmour picking up the assists on that to make it 3-2 Boston. Boston, however, answered in a hurry in that second period as Reid got his 17th at 3:19. Ruzicka the assist. Boston up by 2. But before it was all said and done in the second, Mike Krushelnyski is 18th at 9:48 on a power play with Ellett getting the assist. Made it a 1-goal game, and that's our current score.
There's the heart and soul of the Boston Bruins. Only 20 minutes in penalties. That does not mean he doesn't play a physical game. He just plays it smart. He hits you clean. But oh boy, can he hit you hard.
Playing half the game, day in, day out. Ellett coming back to get it. Could not hold it in. A whistle behind the play. And Reid is down. I did not see what happened. Reid away from the play. Dave Reid obviously is cut. I don't know if he got hit with the puck when it was flipped up. Let's take a look. Oh, he didn't. Krushelnyski. Borchevsky raked him.
Reid's going through the circle to try to get back to the point on this faceoff. That's his job. And Borchevsky, I believe, in trying to lift the stick, misses the stick and catches Reid right in the head.
There you see the numbers for Dave Reid, looking for his 100th assist in his career. Nobody made a call on this now. The linesman can help the official here. If anybody saw it, the referee or the 2 linesmen, they can tell the referee and the call will be made. And if he was cut with a high stick, it's a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. But there's been no call made, and I don't think any of the officials saw that.
I don't believe so. The way they're milling around, and Reid is talking to the referee right now, I don't think a penalty will be called. To say it's a long, hard, tough haul from the beginning of training camp to the end of the season is an understatement. But you get to the end of February, beginning of March, you see Borchevsky here hitting Reid. and you start to see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. You start thinking about playoff positioning, and you actually get a resurgence of energy. Playing hockey throughout January and February with the travel and the difficulty of playing the game, the physical aspect, is very hard on the player. Mentally now, and Ray Bourque mentioned it, watch me go, watch me churn it up these last 23, 24 games, and then into the playoffs. And I think you'll see each team, as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, look for that light and get some energy from it. You'll see the intensity level rise. You'll see the speed of the games rise as everybody gears up for a good ride in the playoffs.
Ray Bourque sending it ahead. There were no penalties called. Poulin dropped it. And taken out of the play that time was C.J. Young. Anderson sends it in. Clark stood up and knocked down by Ray Bourque. Anderson tried to hold it in but didn't get enough of it to do so. Poulin clears it out for Heinze. Heinze has Poulin with him, but that's an offside pass from Toronto. 4-3 Boston.
And that was dinner for our favorite.
Just going to tip it, and Potvin kicks out his left pad. Gary, you mentioned earlier the last time the Leafs finished above 500 was 78-79. The Bruins, conversely, have been above 500 every year since 1967.
Boston's played 25 consecutive seasons in the playoffs, a record that they'll add to this year. Timeout taken here by Toronto. They're using their 30-second timeout. You see the shots on goal. Brian Sutter, and I'm sure he's talking about defensive zone coverage. I just have that feeling.
Well, it's almost non-existent this third period. The Bruins, perhaps, long road trip, strong first period. They want to get things going. They want to end the trip on a good note. But maybe when you're traveling like they are, playing the games with the intensity the Bruin players play with, running out of gas a little bit. The Leafs will want to capitalize on that. Keep attacking, keep driving to the net, creating traffic in front of the goaltender, Blue.
Pat Burns talking to the troops behind the bench here in Toronto. Saw Tommy McVie. We had a great discussion with him. He's worked one-on-one with Cam Neely, getting him in shape, and if anybody can do it, Tommy McVie can't. He skates with Neely daily after practice for the extra session. As he put it, Neely wants to get back so bad because he just wants to get rid of me. Ruzicka reaching in, tied up along the boards.
You put it a little nicer than Tom put it.
Tommy's one of the great characters of this game. He's been around it a long time. Peter Zezel as we'll wait for the draw. I want to remind you, men's tennis coming up here on ESPN tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern and 10 Pacific. The ComSat U.S. Indoor Championship live from Philadelphia. Mark Woodford won today. He will face either Lendrell or Sampras. They are playing tonight. That will be for the championship tomorrow right here on ESPN, 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific.
Pat Burns waiting to the last minute. He changed. He put his big offensive line on, and the Bruins tried to sneak Bourque onto the ice to play against Gilmour and Andreychuk, but the referee would have none of that. Sent him back to the bench.
That's what home ice advantage is all about. Let's see if it works here. Borchevsky centering pass. Knocked away by Ruzicka. Fans wanted a penalty called as Andreychuk had gotten taken down by Ruzicka. There was none. Way behind the net for Oates.
The minute the puck was cleared, the Bruin defenseman changed. Sweeney and Bourque coming on the ice to play against Gilmour's line.
And an offside pass. You can't pass over two lines in the National Hockey League, and that one was over two.
And guess what line comes out for the Bruins? Dave Poulin to stay with Gilmour. One of the league's premier checkers will be trying to check one of the league's premier centers, and because Poulin is on the ice with Bourque and Sweeney, Burns elects to take his big guns off the ice. Good body positioning. Gilmour fighting all the time. David Shaw keeping him to the outside, away from the front of the net.
That's hard work. There you see Doug Gilmour's numbers, leading the National Hockey League in assists, closing in on records held by Darryl Sittler. Sittler had 117 points, 72 assists in 78. Gilmour's on a pace for 130 points right now. And it'll be cleared out. He's only a couple shy now of the assists record by Sittler for a season. Clark lost it. Anderson got it back. Offside Cullen. Cullen taken down by Sweeney and takes a whack at him with a stick on the ice. And they will separate themselves. There's what we've been talking about, Jimmy, with Darryl Sittler's numbers.
Well, they better add a few more to that. I'm on a tour with Darryl, and he had 2 assists in a game against Owen Sound Platers. So I don't know if that counts as National League players. We're doing a little tour throughout Ontario. We've been to London, Owen Sound, and we're going to go up north into Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, North Bay, and down east to Belleville. And certainly a lot of fun for us old-timers to get on the ice and play against the next stars. These are the OHL players, and a lot of them you'll see in the National League within the next few years.
That's heroes.
Heroes, yes, I like that better. Thank you, partner.
That's quite all right.
I couldn't say it. I was hoping you would.
Glen Wesley flips it in. The left behind Clark on the near side, tipped away into the middle. Wesley shot blocked and played by Lefebvre. Down to 12 minutes to go, third period. Anderson coming, Clark in the middle. Glenn Anderson whipped it wide, short side. Anderson holds it into Clark behind the net. Clark centering, taken away by Poulin. Poulin drops it off. Bruins Steve Heinze will bring it out. Boston leading 4-3, no scoring here in this third period. It has been a good one as both these teams want these points. Both battling for positions. Brought up. Clark tied up from behind. Still has it. Leach took it away. Leach would let him go, and it came outside before Rouse could hold it in. 11:30 left in regulation. 4-3 Boston.
It was just another Saturday afternoon until those old guys came out of the woods.
Are giving up the blue line, even though they have equal man coverage, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. And when you give up the blue line with players like an Andreychuk or a Gilmour coming down, they can snap that puck. They're very adept at using defensemen as screens and getting it just past the leg where the goaltender can't see it. You give them to the top of the circles, and they are very, very dangerous. So the Bruins want to just pick up their speed a little bit, and they want to start playing this game, these last 10, 11 minutes, the way they played the first period. And it's simply a matter of mounting up and just pushing yourself to get that little more, knowing you're going home at the end of the game after a long, hard trip.
So Juneau, the aeronautical engineer there, 24 years old, second leading scorer among the rookies in the National Hockey League behind Solani. Donato won the draw, cleared into the corner. Battle there. Lefebvre put the hit on. The puck's underneath him on the net, and finally he'll get a whistle as he was being pushed around by Brent Hughes of the Boston Bruins. Now in the Adams division, where Boston is, Montreal struggling tonight, tie game against Ottawa. Those are the current standings, with Quebec and Boston believing they can overtake Montreal. Buffalo desperately wants home ice advantage. Hartford and Ottawa are gone. They're not going to make it. The question in this division is, what's the positioning of the 4 teams will be in the playoffs?
All the way from first to down to 4th is undecided, and won't be decided probably until the last week of the season.
Yep, great games. Cleared around by John Cullen. Roberts holds it in. 10:29 to go in the third. 1-goal lead for the Bruins. Wesley shot blocked out deep. Cullen, who blocked it, sends it up ice trying to hit Anderson. Played by Roberts. Roberts whipped it out. Donato couldn't handle him. Leaf changed it up. Rouse over to Jamie Macoun. His pass. Donato fanned on the attempted intercept. Kimble's got it. Kimble's had a goal in this game for the Boston Bruins. No scoring, as we said, here in the third. Kimble for Boston in the first. Clark answered it. Then Poulin and Oates got one. Wrapped around the boards. Osborne scored in the second. Reid answered that. And then Krushelnyski got the other to make it a 4-3 game. Cullen able to hold it in. Good play. Rouse down low. Shot right through the middle. And a penalty coming up on Mark Osborne. He ran into the Boston goaltender. And the Bruins will get a power play. Tom Mees.
All right, Vancouver has struck and taken the lead on Winnipeg, Gary. Little Cliff Ronning gets a nice pass here from Jim Sandlak. Ronning's only 5'8", about 160 pounds, but he held his ground there, and he's put the Canucks on top, Gary.
Point-wise, Pittsburgh leads the league with 79, followed by Montreal 76. If Vancouver can win tonight, they'll have 74 and tie with Chicago for third most in points. Interference with the goaltender. Under the new rules in the National Hockey League this season, goaltender cannot be touched in or out of the crease. You must make every effort to avoid contact with him.
Mark Osborne driving in, a little added intensity. It's going to cost him 2 minutes. And the goal he got tonight, Gary, gave him 500 career points. So a milestone of sorts for Mark Osborne, and certainly our congratulations to Mark. He's been a tremendous veteran for these Leafs. He's one of these honest, hard-working guys. Comes day in, day out. He's great with the younger players, always has a tremendous attitude, and keeps himself in tremendous shape. So he's a player come playoff time when you're grinding things out. Will be very valuable for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
He's out of there. Goaltending interference at 10-14. Boston 1 for 3 on the power play. Juneau got knocked down. He could not split Ellett and Rouse and cleared out.
Good burst of speed, coast to coast, almost for Joey Juneau. But the Leaf defenders, led by Ellett, just squeezed him off at the end.
Ray Bourque drops it off. He'll try it again. Juneau coming to the middle. He's got Leach and Oates with him on that line on the power play. Wesley playing the point with Bourque. His pass intercepted and sent out again by Rouse. Gilmour's up over 23 minutes now in this game. We talked about the playing time for Bourque. He's up to 23:15 in playing time. Your Stars see action. Juneau, he's got Leach in front. Juneau spun around and taken down by Dave McLlwain. In the corner, Bruins want to hold it in here. They've got 1:02 left on the power play. Jamie Macoun looking for the short-handed break. McLlwain up ice. He couldn't get it to him. McLlwain, short-handed Toronto. He was all alone. Adam Oates gets the puck. Trouble was there wasn't an open lane, and Oates almost coughed it up to Krushelnyski. John Blue's got to be wondering, are these guys really on my side? McLlwain in. Back to Macoun. Save made by Blue. Tipped it away. Krushelnyski. This is a short-handed effort underway. Ruzicka the other way on the power play. Rosie Ruzicka. Save off the shoulder of Potvin. Ray Bourque able to hold it in. Krushelnyski turns. Bourque can't hold that in. 20 seconds of the Bruins power play. Blue comes out trying to push it up as the Leafs were changing. They get it to Oates. Oates brings it in. Oates, Reid goes in front of him. Back to Ray Bourque. He back to Oates. Point. Featherstone shot deflected. Loose puck in the high slot area. Comes near side. Adam Oates. And the power play is over. Even strength. Ray Bourque the shot. Saved by Potvin into the seats. Bruins do not convert. It remains a Bruins 4-3 lead with 7:41 to go in the third.
Before you buy your next
trip, they are 3-2-1 on it right now, and they've got some fans on hand here. On our Budweiser scoreboard this afternoon, Washington the win. Los Angeles struggling. Hartford over Edmonton. Islanders a big win there over Pittsburgh to knock the Rangers into fifth. Minnesota, as we showed you, moving up. Quebec their victory over Tampa Bay in their chase. Vancouver leading. Still tied at the Forum. Gilmour breaking in. Gordie Roberts with him. Roberts, Gilmour tipped it away. Borchevsky couldn't handle it. Picked up by Andreychuk. 7:20 to go in this third period. Andreychuk in the corner. Digs it out. Andreychuk looking. Toronto trying to get it tied. Ellett the shot. Save made by Blue. Andreychuk centers. It went behind the net. Held in. Gilmour. Gill knocked away. Down on the ice was Dave Reid. And Blue reaching out. Does a little fishing and puts it underneath the catching glove.
There's a shot there, the quickness of Dave Andreychuk's hands. He's being hauled down. He has the puck in the backhand, but as he's following, he gets to the forehand. The shot did miss the net, but just to be able to do this, to take a shot the way Andreychuk does. This comes from the point from Ellett. Good save from Blue. Now Andreychuk will have the puck here on his backhand, and we aren't going to see the rest of that. Take my word for it. It was a tremendous play, bringing the puck backhand to forehand, and he shot it just over the net.
And he has that long reach that helps out. He can really flick a puck.
The only thing he lacks in his game is skating ability, but playing with a guy like Gilmour who likes to hit players coming late, they complement each other very well.
In behind the net, Ray Bourque. Bourque clearing it around, and on Sweeney, did get it out of the zone, just rolled it out. Sylvain Lefebvre sent it right back in. Bourque goes to the corner to get it. Clark moves up on him. Bourque reversing direction with it. Pinned up by Anderson. Anderson couldn't control it. Sent out of the zone. C.J. Young. Sent right back in. Blue. Bourque. Back to get it again. 6:37. Time running out in Toronto now. They got to take some chances. Anderson. Blocker save. About 15 rows back by John Blue.
Wendel Clark once again making the Bruin defenders pay the price. He's hit Ray Bourque at every opportunity in this game tonight. And when you play a lot of ice, a lot of hockey, it wears you down come the end part of the third period.
One of the great scorers of the game, Pat LaFontaine, against one of the great goaltenders, Patrick Roy. We will be at the Forum, the Grand Dame for hockey buildings, as the Sabres and Canadiens go at it next Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern and 5 Pacific on ESPN's National Hockey Night.
Well, even the great ones make mistakes sometimes. There's Ray Bourque trying to go up the middle. Too many passes tonight. You can make cross-ice passes. You can make passes up the middle, but you have to be sure, and they have to be hard. Any weak pass, if it's intercepted, you have your forwards already exiting your defensive zone. You're in big trouble.
Save made by Blue again. Kicks it away in the shot by Sylvain Lefebvre. Macoun trying to hold it in, could not. Pushed out of the zone by Stevie Heinze, who takes the hit from Anderson. Potvin going back to hold it up. Felix Potvin just able to get rid of it. Centering pass. Gilmour got it up, not out of the zone. Anderson does, intended for Clark, but it was behind him. Chased down on the near side. Roberts sends it out again. Got it by Cullen. Lefebvre steps up, pushes it back in. Boston can get a victory here tonight. Their road record is going to move to 500, and that's not bad in this game. Montreal, Tom, how they doing there?
Well, Gary, you know, the Ottawa Senators haven't gotten a point all year on the road. They're trying tonight in Montreal, and they may do it with saves like this from Peter Sidorkiewicz. Mike Keane was set up beautifully by J.J. Daniel, but Sidorkiewicz closed the door. It's still 4-4 in the third, Gary.
He has had an outstanding season in net for the Ottawa Senators. Peter Sidorkiewicz has really played some good hockey, but it's not going to show anywhere.
Well, I mean, he gets so many shots every game, and it's difficult, not only the initial shot, but the rebounds, the tip-ins, the screens. It's just the growing process of a new franchise, and that's why you and I and many hockey people are so adamant that we have to do more to help the new teams coming in the league be competitive, so that the effort of a guy like Sidorkiewicz is not wasted.
March 1st, they'll decide whether two new teams are coming in next year, although there could be an extension on that date if needed for the new teams. Shot by Bourque, deflected. Borchevsky drops it off for Gilmour. Slashing behind the play, Juneau and Andreychuk. Gilmour couldn't control. Kicked in Andreychuk, tried to center Gilmour. Gill comes up to get it. The defenseman now will join the play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've got to try and make it go, and that could create a break for Boston with 5:34 left. Here's one of them. Oates coming. Juneau on the right. Gets it to him. Joey Juneau tried to get it back into the middle. Had it blocked Borchevsky. He's played a very good game both ways here tonight. Intercepted by Leach off Juneau. Played by Ray Bourque. Shots right now 29-21 in favor of Toronto. Borchevsky just missed Gilmour. Played by Sweeney. Gilmour had a 2-on-1 break going. Sweeney gets by Andreychuk. Sent in by Bourque. Bruins and Leafs will change it up. 5 minutes left to go in the third period. No icing waved off. Glen Featherstone's got to play it. Featherstone cross ice. Donato, nice move by Berg. Donato in. Lefebvre knocks him down. Donato's got the puck underneath him. Dave Reid there with him, and they will get a whistle, and the faceoff will be outside the zone. Some tired legs. These guys have worked hard in this one. Coming up next, Sports Center, a boxing update. 4 title bouts to bring you up to date on. NBA All-Star Weekend in the Slam Dunk competition, and lots of college basketball. Sports Center, as soon as we are done on ESPN's National Hockey Night from Toronto. 15,720 filling the building here in Toronto for this game.
Gordie Roberts on the blue line again for the Bruins. He's had a very strong, sound game at his own end of the arena tonight. He has made virtually no mistakes at all against the Leaf. Taken the man well, stood up to the blue line, moved the puck well, cleared the front of the net. Of all the Bruin defenders, including Raymond Bourque, I would say my pick for the #1 guy in a black jersey would be number 14, Gordie Roberts, in tonight's game.
35 years old, 14th year, Hartford, Minnesota, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Boston.
If you asked him what team he likes best, I bet it would be the one with the dark jersey.
He's playing it well right now. Lefebvre almost kills McCreary. Shot that right up by his shoulder off the boards. McCreary getting jammed up over there again, the official. Taken away by Donato. Sent it in. Jamie Macoun back to get it. The Bruins have protected the 1-goal lead. Shot save made by Potvin on Reid. And Potvin protects the chance for the Leafs. But they can't get it out of the zone. Backed in. Potvin knocked it again as Donato took the backhand shot. And this is going to be an icing call. Featherstone will be back on the touch-up. Remember those saves by Potvin if the Maple Leafs are able to come back and get this game tied. Glen Featherstone having some words with Bill Berg, and Mark Vine stays in the middle to separate them.
Featherstone has used great portions of the dictionary tonight. He's had words with almost all of the Maple Leafs every time they've been near him on a whistle. He is the big muscle for the Bruins, and he has to do that. Put new rules in, try to get fighting eliminated or try to get it reduced, but still, hockey is a game of intimidation. And the guy that intimidates you, if you're going to lose that battle, you're going to lose the hockey game. It's still a very tough game. One along the boards, in the corners, one-on-one battles. And when I say battles, I mean battles. From the time the puck is dropped in the first period till the buzzer goes at the end of the third.
Toronto's come back from an 11-6 deficit in shots in the first period to get that advantage. In one-goal games this season, the Leafs have had it tough. They're 6-10. Bruins are 11-9. You would figure a team like the Bruins would play a lot of one-goal games, and indeed they do. In the corner, Bruins want it. Shot on is blocked. Stepping up that time was Gill, who knocked it away, and Todd Gill, good play on the shot by Heinze, or C.J. Young. Young wound up, put it right in him. Heinze gets it back to Bourque. Bourque shot. That's deflected by Clark into the corner. The Bruins now putting the heat on here. With that 4-3 lead, no better way to protect it than keep the puck in your offensive end. Behind the net, Bruins looking with Steve Heinze. Heinze turns. Heinze sends it. Bourque off the heel. Rebound at the side of the net by Poulin. Down he goes with Gill. Young knocked it away to the near side corner. The Leafs down by a goal, unable to get out of the zone. Ellett will try it again. 3:24 to go. Anderson off. Cullen sends it in onside. Anderson centered. Bourque blocked it. Back to Dave Ellett, the defenseman who's moved in on the play. Adam Oates has it. And Oates sends it out. Bruins just don't want to turn it over now and give any unforced chance to Toronto.
That was a great shift, that last shift by the Bruins. They didn't throw the puck out blindly. They kept turning it back, trying to get one-on-one situations against the Toronto defenders. They ate up about 30 seconds on the clock.
Gilmour moving in. Gilmour dropped it. Andreychuk stepping in. Leach back to Andreychuk, rolled wide. Anderson tried to center, couldn't. Taken by Andreychuk. Andreychuk trying to swing it in. Goes behind the net to Gilmour. Gilmour centered. Came back to him. Gilmour shot. Covered up. Score. They tied it up. Blue Body had it. It was pushed over the line. 4-4.
John Blue is livid. But all indications that goal is going to count as referee McCreary goes over to the scorekeeper. Do the letters OT mean anything to you, partner?
Maybe one more time, but there's 2:40 left. What a play by Gilmour.
Stays with it, cuts short and tries to jam it, and there it goes.
He never had it covered.
Blue couldn't get over or didn't get over, and I think his contention with the referee was that he was being interfered with, therefore was unable to get over to the post. Whether he couldn't or didn't, it doesn't matter. It's a 4-4 game as the Leafs fight back to tie the Boston Bruins.
4-4. Gilmour gets his 25th of the season, and the house alive here in Toronto. Tie game. You see the time remaining. Andreychuk and Macoun get the assists at 17:20. Division. LA struggling for a spot. Hartford over Edmonton. Edmonton the same struggle. Islanders move ahead of the Rangers with a victory over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's lost a couple. Minnesota picking up 2 against the Flyers after they were down in that game. Quebec beat Tampa Bay. And Vancouver's the final now. They have beaten Winnipeg.
And where have the Jets gone, partner? Where have they gone?
South.
Wow.
I can't believe with all the talent they've got on that team. Big game for the Rangers of San Jose tonight. Try and move back up in the standings from 5th place now. 2:33 to go. What a finish. What a play by Gilmour. Bourque fanning on it. Berg kicking it out. Mark Osborne's got it. Osborne sends it in. Zezel's on the far side. Peter Zezel. Bourque moves over to meet him. Freed it up to Dave Poulin. Poulin get it up along the boards. It was hit with a high stick. No, they wave it off. Sylvain Lefebvre. Lefebvre up for Zezel. Zezel dumps it in. 2:12 left to go. 3rd period. Game tied at 4 on the singular effort by Gilmour, who's 1-1 in this game. Poulin clears it out. Lefebvre goes back to get it. Gilmour now at 95 points in the season. Started tonight's game with a plus 23. Second on the team to Anderson's plus 28. Zezel drops it back. Nobody wants to make a mistake. Heinze intercepted and sends it in as Berg took him down. Jamie Macoun, who got an assist in the goal, up to Lefebvre. Both teams changing, trying to keep the fresh legs in the ice. A minute 39 left. Behind the net, Bourque probably won't leave here. Leach got it out of the zone. Andreychuk brought it in, but Gilmour was still there.
Pat Burns has to be pleased with his troops after a lackluster first period. They have fought all the way back to tie this game at 4s. And they've been doing a lot of fighting back lately against Minnesota, a team they're trying to catch. They came back from behind in Minnesota to beat the North Stars. Of course, before that, they beat them at home here. And they want to move up. They don't want to be in 3rd or 4th. They want to move their way all the way up to the top of the division. And Coach Pat Burns believes that they can.
Toronto's 3-16-1 when they've trailed going to the second period. No NHL team has won more than 5 games in the 3rd period. Tipped away by Leach. Boston, on the other hand, trying not to lose it. Andreychuk, centering pass, rolls free. Borchevsky turns. It went where? It's loose. No goal. No goal. The whistle had blown. Bill McCrary waved it off immediately. The whistle had blown, even though the puck was loose.
McCrary loses sight of the puck. And as all referees do, once they can't see it, they blow the whistle.
McCrary has to go over and explain why there's no goal. Now listen for the whistle. There it is. Good call.
A good call. The fans don't like it as they're littering the ice, and that is certainly not a brilliant thing to do. As a matter of fact, that's an idiotic thing to do. Not only because it's dangerous, but if they're fans, their team has fought back, their team is on a roll, all over, swarming the Boston Bruins, and now you eliminate their momentum. Why fans do that, why they're allowed to do it, is beyond me. There aren't many things in this game that upset me, but that is one of them, Gare.
Those were posters handed out tonight, Stanley Cup posters, as a giveaway. With a minute 18 left to go, the giveaways are going to be trashed as they'll come out and clean them up off the ice.
Pat Burns has done a good job in this 3rd period of getting the matchups that he wants. He has the last line change. That last matchup, you have the much bigger Andreychuk against a much smaller Don Sweeney. Of course, the Bruins would like to have Bourque on the ice at that time. That is the advantage of that last change. A lot of coaches don't take advantage of their home ice. Pat Burns did it very well in this 3rd period.
1:18 left to go in regulation as the teams will rest along the bench. Goaltenders will join them. Our storyline here tonight, Gilmour's 25th goal and his 70th assist on the season, up to 95 points now. Oates has picked up a career high 36. The most he's ever had was 25 prior to this year, and he's tied for 2nd in power play goals. The Bruins lead the league as they picked up their 17th shorthanded goal, 4th of the season by Dave Poulin in the 1st period. There is John Blue in net tonight for the Boston Bruins. This is his 16th game, 7-5-2 on the season. And while they sort out the posters, they'll get sorted out by Tom Mees.
All right, let's go to the form in Montreal. 4-4 late. Montreal, Ottawa 5-4. Look at that. Vincent Damphousse, former Leaf, may have saved the Montreal Canadiens some embarrassment. Ottawa still yet to get a point on the road. This is late in the 3rd period.
And those Montreal Canadiens will be on ESPN's National Hockey Night Saturday night. We'll see Patrick Waugh company against Pat LaFontaine and the Buffalo Sabres, 8 o'clock Eastern and 5 Pacific for our ESPN National Hockey Night game next Saturday. There you see the Canadiens. Now, of course, they could add to that with a victory. Boston with a victory here tonight. You see what that means to them with Quebec a couple of points ahead. And the Buffalo Sabres all in that battle for positioning in the Adams Division. First 2 teams get home ice, playing the 3rd and 4th place teams. Well, they could have another giveaway night next home game here. They just re-give the ones that have been thrown back out on the ice. Toronto Maple Leafs have battled back to get this game tied up on Gilmour's goal here in the 3rd period as they patiently waited and took advantage of the opportunity. A great singular effort, and no question that the ruling by McCreary was right on this last call, that it in fact had not crossed the line before the whistle blew. Sports Center's coming along next. The 4 title bouts. We'll update you on what happened in those boxing matches. The NBA All-Star Weekend is underway in the slam dunk competition, blindfolded and otherwise. We'll show you. And college hoop, big games as they get set, of course, to make the run for the Final Four. Those are the posters that they handed out there. You see it. I kind of thought it was kind of nice, the quest for the Holy Grail. It's kind of a neat little...
It's nice, but perhaps a little premature. The Leafs are playing very well. However, I don't know that you would say they're legitimate Stanley Cup contenders yet.
Take a look here again and listen for the whistle and watch the puck. Whistle, puck. It hadn't crossed the line before the whistle blew. And the ruling in the National Hockey League, an official blows the whistle if he loses sight of the puck. Tom.
All right, Gary, let's take a look at action from San Jose. Or the Calp House in San Francisco. The Sharks and the Rangers. You're going to see Hubie McDonough set up Michel Picard for the goal early in the first period. The Sharks have jumped on the Rangers 1-0, Gary.
Rangers do not need that right now. The Rangers, the Islanders have jumped ahead of them now with 60 points. Rangers can do the same if they can win tonight. Only a 1-point differential. John Blue moving back in net. Question for Boston. The guys were talking about earlier is whether or not John Blue will be the man who will be playing in net for the Boston Bruins when they are in the playoffs. University of Minnesota graduate, 5 years in the minors. Called up this season to get his first chance at the NHL. The other end, you got the youngster who, obviously the decision's already been made that Felix Potvin is going to be the player, even though last season he played in only 4 games. He put up enormous numbers at the minor league. He was the AHL Rookie of the Year and the Player of the Year as far as goaltenders are concerned, and he is only 21. In Toronto, who would ever have thought after that first period when they were outshot 11-6 they'd have a 10-shot advantage somewhere in the game.
All Maple Leafs from the drop of the puck to begin the second period to this stage of the game.
1:18 left in regulation. Game tied 4-4. Peter Zezel and Poulin, 2 great veterans, move out to take the draw. Zezel won it. Lefebvre dumps it in front. Ray Bourque is there to get it. And the Bruins clear. Lefebvre knocks it down at center ice over to Jamie Macoun. Macoun gains the red line, chooses to take the shot. Blue gloves it, and Toronto will take that because it's a face-off with 1:01 left in the Boston end.
I would expect Burns to wait until the last minute before the referee puts up his hand to the Bruin bench and send out his big offensive line. Yep, there goes the hand, preventing the Bruins from changing, and out come Gilmour, Borchevsky, and Dave Andreychuk.
Take a look at Jamie Macoun. Played his college hockey at Ohio State. 31 years old. Is one of the number of teams in the National Hockey League. Solid player. Age of 31. There's Gilmour to take the face-off. The best draw men. You find out who the coaches believe in. Dave Poulin's out there for Boston. And Gilmour won it again. Jamie Macoun holding it a minute to go in the period. Blew the save as it came through a screen. Reid banks it. Not. Yes, it did come out. Won't matter. Well, now we get a whistle, and they'll call the offsides now. It did come outside the zone.
Dave Poulin has lost 2 draws cleanly in a row on either side of goaltender John Blue. Usually extremely good at the faceoffs, but he's against some pretty good guys. Zezel beat him once, and then Gilmour beat him the second time. There's Gilmour with the reverse grip in the bottom. The puck bounces. Now watch, so Poulin stays right with Gilmour. That's the center's assignment. When you're playing 6 aside and you lose the draw, centerman locks with the center. Wingers go out to the point, and defensemen pick up the loose man in front of the net.
43 seconds remaining to go in regulation. Ray Bourque picks it up. Bourque drops it on the far side. Played up by Donato. Donato's shot deflected by Lefebvre into the third deck.
Gary, how much better the Leafs are standing up this period. They're just like a totally different team than they were the first 20 minutes of the game. I'm dying to find out what Pat Burns said to those guys. Very inspiring speech, whatever it was. And we're only assuming that there was a speech, but I think that's a pretty good assumption.
Pretty good assumption. Pretty good cut right there under the eye, too, on Ted Donato. That's outside. That's a live shot here in Toronto tonight from high atop a building across from Maple Leaf Gardens. It's Ruzicka now against Gilmour. And it's run down low. Ruzicka tried to follow it in. Couldn't. Jamie Macoun was there to take it away. 25 seconds left in regulation. Sweeney goes back to get it. Sweeney behind the net. Sweeney a little trouble controlling it. Cross ice for Reid. Reid with Bourque cutting in front of him. Bourque. Bourque looking for Ruzicka. Drops it back. Intercepted. Sent to the point. Reid able to hold it in. Reid takes the shot. Kicked away. Bourque save Potvin. Rebound Donato. Save Potvin. 2 saves by Felix Potvin will send this game into overtime. As the Bruins got the last chance, but the young rookie refused 2 occasions. They'll take the 2-minute break. We'll have the overtime when we come back. From Toronto, 4-4 after regulation. Time this season, Toronto's not had a lot of luck. They're 0-1-8. Boston 3-3-5. Toronto bench ready to go. Both these teams got a break because of the stuff that was thrown on the ice, in the sense they were both able to rest a little bit there. Good, almost 5 minutes. Sylvain Lefebvre sends it in, and the OT's underway. Blue holds it up. Bourque comes back to get it. He puts it on the near side to Heinze. The youngster's getting the chance. Brian Sutter not afraid to throw him out there in all situations, as he's done all season. Played by Bourque. Bourque tipped over to Heinze. Heinze will dump into the wide side corner. Lefebvre over to get it. Lefebvre got it out, intended for Zezel. Bounced off his back. Young held it into Heinze. Heinze the shot, missed it. He got off a good one. It's played by Osborne. Osborne tied up. Races at center for it for Berg. He can't handle it. Played by Bourque. Ray Bourque from the red line and in as he got nailed by Berg going by. Sports Center coming along as soon as we are done the OT here. Gilmour's got it. Gilmour drops it off. Little room for Osborne for the game winner. Blew the save, and Berg can't reach it. Swept away by Gordie Roberts. Juneau to Adam Oates. Oates using the screen. Potvin the save. No whistle. Now he gets it.
Spoke with Adam Oates this morning, and he's fighting the flu. The Bruins have had a very difficult travel schedule. When you don't get your sleep, that's when you get nailed by that. And once one guy on the team gets a flu, it seems to go all the way through, but he's still fighting through and playing a pretty good game.
Our storyline, Gilmour, the game-tying goal, also has an assist. Toronto, the disallowed goal, and McCreary clearly making the right call on it. Adam Oates, 36 on a power play. There you see the saves for the 2 goaltenders. And we have a final score. The Ottawa Senators still haven't won on the road. And Montreal adds to their total, so they now have got 78 points, one behind Pittsburgh for the most points in the National Hockey League. Played around the net. Rouse got it out. Had it taken away by Oates momentarily. Gets it back, sends it in, trying to hit Gilmour. Of course, that's what they're trying to do. Gilmour's hanging a bit at center. Taken by Juneau. Juneau circling with it. Juneau tied up by Andreychuk. Andreychuk right in front of the crease again. Turnover. Just missed Gilmour. Gilmour back to get it shot. Ellett shot deflected by Leach into the corner. What a turnover that was. Borchevsky knocks it behind the net. The pass by Bourque deflected. Blue makes the save on Borchevsky.
First of all, Bourque makes a bad play. He spins around, makes a blind pass. Goes to one of his players, fortunately for Bourque, and then Juneau has it about 10 feet inside the blue line. You're struggling. You've had 2 tough periods. Gain the blue line. Let someone else go after that loose puck in the neutral zone. He brings it back in the long stick and strength of Andreychuk. Hooks the puck off in a very dangerous place, and all you have around you are white sweaters. Fortunately for the Bruins, it was an errant pass and went past Gilmour, or Blue would have maybe had the little black spheroid behind him one more time.
Ray Bourque, there you see the time he has played in this game. That's covering the ice, but that's not unusual for him to go more than half. Lefebvre shot. Blue tips it away with a stick. 3:18 to go in the 5-minute overtime. You get one and you win. Donato ahead. Taken down the middle almost by Reid. Reid to the corner, centers, but it went behind the net. And all the way to the point. Glen Wesley able to hold it in. Donato lost it to Cullen. Cullen looking for open ice, finds Lefebvre. Anderson with him. Sylvain Lefebvre. Both teams doing the dump and chase here. Blue holds it up. Gordie Roberts goes back to get it. Roberts looking to break somebody. Couldn't find Ruzicka. Played by Lefebvre over to Anderson. Anderson comes right back to him. Anderson trying to ship it again. Gets it for a 3rd time. Now gets it off to Clark. Clark, the captain. Clark turning. Gordie Roberts again got to him. Donato went in off him on blue. Knocked down Anderson. Turnaround Anderson. Tipped wide by Gilmour. Gilmour knocked down side of the net. Wesley clears it up and out. This is going to be no icing as Potvin had to play it. 2:26 in the overtime. Rouse up to Gilmour. Gilmour's played almost all of this overtime, and as a result, Bourque is also doing the same thing. Ray Bourque drops it off. Heinze falls down. Ellett picks up the loose puck. Not a lot of legs left out there. Clark away. Andreychuk stood up by Poulin in hard, and a penalty. Poulin's going to be called for cross-checking Dave Andreychuk. Oh my gosh.
The puck was going to Andreychuk. Andreychuk will let the puck go past him. There he goes trying to push it through Poulin. Poulin knows that Andreychuk's got about 14 inches in height on him. He gets the stick up trying to prevent the big man from getting the blue line. We have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game, and 2 of those minutes, barring a goal by the Leafs, will be a shorthanded situation for the Bruins, not what a tired team needs.
Now, Toronto's come over by the scorer's table. I think there's going to be another penalty. There's a too many men on the ice penalty, I think, on Toronto. So it's going to even it up. There will not be a power play. Poulin goes at 250 for cross-checking. And for the second time tonight, the Maple Leafs have too many men on the ice. This one couldn't have come at a worse time.
Pat Burns and his assistant coach Mike Kitchen trying to figure out who the culprit was. I would not want to be that player in tomorrow's practice.
Wow. Can we count them up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's 5. And there it is.
6. Of course, the linesmen help out on that. They can advise the official of that. Second, too many men on the ice in this game, and in overtime as a result, Toronto loses the power play chance. I hope you enjoyed this one. We got 2:10 left to go in it, maybe, unless somebody scores before. ESPN's National Hockey Night. We are here at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Gary Thorne, Jim Schoenfeld with you. Great game. 4-4. Bruins had led it almost throughout. And in the third period, Gilmour got it tied up. Now we're in OT. Sports Center will be coming right along, bring you up to date on all the sports action. Macoun behind the net. Cleared up by Lefebvre. Gilmour tips it out to center. Ray Bourque coming back to get it. That's the time remaining in the overtime. Bourque dropped it off. Adam Oates. Oates back to Bourque. 4-on-4 now. Intercepted Gilmour. Back to Andreychuk. Andreychuk shooting side. Shot save! Right in the webbing of John Blue's glove.
Andreychuk with the puck at the top of the circle, and Dave Ellett was streaking in from his point position. And Andreychuk seen him, and he slid it over, a one-timer. But Andreychuk gets a good shot away here. He can score. And just to the top of your screen, out of focus, was Ellett coming in. But again, you'll see Gilmour go, makes the pass, and by the time the shot is taken, he is right in front of the net for a tip or a rebound. And to your right of your screen, you see Ellett cruising in, being guarded by Dave Reid.
Toronto has won all 4 faceoffs in the overtime so far. 1:42 left in it. John Blue holding the fort for the Bruins. Peter Zezel moves in. Sports Center along next. All the day's activities. We'll bring you up to date. Face-off Donato and Zezel, and they'll back out. Visiting team player has to get the stick down first. Good win of the draw right there by Oates. Behind the net to Bourque. We're looking at the time remaining here in this overtime. Adam Oates. Oates sends it back for Bourque. Zezel on the forecheck. Oates has got it. Skating 4-on-4 for almost the rest of this game. Oates the middle. Tried to get it back in the forehand. Taken away. Ellett gets it on the near side. Good play by Rouse that time to free the puck up. Dave Ellett sends it cross ice. Both teams changing it up. Ray Bourque stays out. Tips it away to Adam Oates. Donato comes in with him. 2-on-2. Waits for help. Bourque cuts to the net. Bourque tipped it just wide. Bourque trying to set it up down low, and Donato got the tip. Peter Zezel the other way. Red line shot. Blue makes the save. We're down to the final minute of the overtime. Tip behind the net. Sweeney goes back to get it. Sweeney got turned. Ray Bourque just wants to get it out of there and does. Sylvain Lefebvre tips it back. Good play, allowed him to get onside. Jamie Macoun still 4-on-4. That one run out to center by Sweeney. Gilmour has got a 37 to go in the game. Ruzicka steps up over to Donato. Played by Andreychuk. Had no help. Gets it off to Lefebvre. Lefebvre sends it in. That's the time remaining here. The game tied at 4. Gilmour blocked it, centered it. Andreychuk blocked it again. He tried to center. Donato blocked it and sends it off the boards. Ruzicka. Will the Bruins get the final chance? Up by Sweeney. Sweeney in. Sweeney tried to drop it. Tied up by Rouse. Gilmour. Gilmour ahead to Macoun. That's all that's left. Tipped at center. Anderson looking for a little help. Won't find it. And these teams play to a 4-4 tie. And an exciting finish for Jim Schoenfeld and all of our crew. This is Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us. 4-4 the final. Tom?
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Job well done. Working overtime on a Saturday night in Toronto, Bruins and the Maple Leafs. 3 other games in the NHL schedule tonight. It's a final now. It is 0-29-0 for the Ottawa Senators on the road this season. How to get them together with the NBA's Dallas Mavericks would be a heck of a game. Vancouver over Winnipeg by a score of 4-2. Cliff Rodden, congrats, your 100th NHL goal in that victory for the Canucks. And the Rangers skating at this hour against San Jose. Michel Picard has scored for the Sharks. And the Cow Palace is 4th of the year, 1-0 San Jose, playing a little bit better hockey of late for Mr. Kingston as they're leading the slumping Rangers. We'll be back with more National Hockey Night in a moment.